What is going on, Duckers? And thank you for tuning into this episode of the Decoy Christmas episode of the podcast. I saw in chat earlier on people were talking about Merry Christmas, and I almost forgot to wear this thing. Here we go. We got a cool little angry Santa hat I got maybe a couple years ago, but I'm glad to see you guys all hanging out here in the chat pretty early. It looks like we got over like 100 people already, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, thanks you, Killinator. Merry Christmas. One of the 7 people over on Twitch. Actually, wait. Do we have? Okay, we got some a jazz playlist in the background, but let me know in the chat. Is that too loud? Yeah, it's pretty cool that we have a good vibe in all the different chat rooms all across. It kind of just to see where you guys want to watch and kind of consume the channel and which chat do you guys prefer? Because I know there's definitely different vibes in different chat rooms. Oh, there's no music? Wait. Oh, wait, there should be, How do I add that? I guess there's no back. Technical difficulties because I don't have anything capturing audio in this screen, so I'll just close that out. Whatever, it's fine. Yeah, you couldn't hear the music at all, so I mean, it is what it is. And then I did see in the chat before I forget, people were talking about where I'd get this pencil bat. Actually, the pencil bat is from VictusSports.com. I mean, I'm not affiliated with them at all, but I would just say that this is like a cheap wiffle ball version of the official Victus, the pencil bat. It's like an aluminum bat. It's pretty cool. When it first came back in stock, there was the smaller 27-inch version and the 32, but the idea that it's already sold out of the 27 makes me feel like it's selling out very quickly. So if you're interested, go there and get yourself one. I mean, I get no commission off it. It's just, there it is right there. Yeah, I'm glad you're lurking due to work. It's kind of interesting because I don't watch too many live streams myself. I don't know the consumption, like the style of consumption people watch live streams with. So it's kind of, I always had the need to fill all the dead air and try to be entertaining the entire time. But honestly, to my understanding, people watch Asmongold, Hassan, or Amiru in the background. It's almost like you may not be watching my face this entire time. You're probably doing chores, you're at work, or you're watching the VOD later on a Decaf Decoy over on YouTube, and you're just kind of consuming it. Not like my concise, lighthearted commentary where I'm like in your face. With Decoy, the main channel, you can no longer like watch me in the background. Like I'll listen to Tim Pool in the background if I'm like brushing my teeth or getting ready for the day. With Decoy, you can't be doing anything else. You have to be watching me. Okay, so Yakobed says playing Minecraft. That makes sense then. You kind of listening in the background. It's like, I almost feel like it's watching video gameplay is emulating when I was a kid and I'd watch my older brother playing like Nintendo 64. Or even when I was in college and I'd have my friends over and they just passively watch me play like Xbox 360. And this is almost the same thing with Twitch. When you watch people play video games, it's like, oh, I just kind of want to unplug. I don't want to do anything. I still want to know what happens in Expedition 33, which if you haven't played the game and you're into RPGs, that is by far the greatest game. That's game of the year, game of the century for me. But yeah, you're just watching somebody do this in the background. So if you happen to be playing Minecraft, it's almost like I'm your kid brother or your older brother just hanging out in the room with you and just we're vibing. You know, you're playing Minecraft, but you're also kind of getting informed on what's going on in the world in the background. So that's kind of cool. You play NES on NES Zelda still? Honestly, I could never really get into that version of Zelda. I'm sorry. I'm gonna kind of getting warm inside my room with that beanie. It's giving me like Santa beanie head. So whatever. And then Shane Wolf says, Unk streaming again. It's kind of hard to get used to the idea that you're no longer like, I remember every job that I had, I was always like the youngest person there. Oh, he's the kid, he doesn't understand or whatever. And then you get into your Unk phase where it's like, I don't know, chat, how old do I look? But I'm obviously not early 20s anymore. So it's kind of hard to accept the fact that you're no longer, hey, he's the young guy on the team. He's He's Unc now. He's the older guy. I mean, obviously, I'm an uncle, and I have like nibblings, nephews, and nieces, and you are an uncle. This is a objective truth, but it's kind of funny how people are like, yeah, he's Unc now. You could be 30 to 40. Here's the thing is, okay, so 35, 30, 27, 26, 28, those are all good ages considering that I'm actually 75 years old. So it's almost like whenever someone says they're self-conscious about their body, it's like if you ever feel bad about your body, just say, oh, but I used to be 350 pounds. Like me being this, it's like, okay, maybe he's in shape, he's kind of, thin, maybe skinny, fat, whatever it is. But if I said I used to be 350 pounds, that's pretty awesome. But if I say, hey, I'm 30 years old, and it's like, oh my God, he looks like he's 37 or something, that's bad. But if I'm 75, oh my God, I look amazing for 75. That's what you do. That's what you always oversay what you are. And just lean into that. I mean, lean into that, whatever. What do you guys? Okay, so yeah, it seems like a lot of you guys are older. Got a guy 30, 41, 44, 54, 57. Jimmy Dore is like that. What's up, General Kale? He's like a one of the old school not podcasters, political commentators. I would say that he was like right leaning now, but I honestly don't even know how to classify anybody's political affiliation anymore. Toys R Us kid, we don't age. I mean, I think I saw that they're bringing back Toys R Us, but it's just not the same. Honestly, like I was walking through a very fancy Target the other day, and it's like this toy section's like greater than any Toys R Us I've ever been in. Like if you lived in LA, you went to a Toys R Us. Like I forgot what I was picking up, like a basketball hoop, like a rim just like that. And good God, it was like the most filthy, disgusting, messy, kids running around and crying everywhere. Like it was not a good experience. So it's like we may have fond memories of Toys R Us for that, like that giant book for Christmas, but it wasn't actually a great store. Jimmy Dore is on the Candace Owens train. And here's the sad thing is right now, when Candace Owens was talking about the French president's wife, I was like, there's no way, dude. There's no way. I don't believe it. And the more she spoke about it, the more I started to kind of believe it. Now, honestly, I don't watch enough of it to know. What I would say is I would never 100% discount what she's saying because honestly, I didn't believe her about the French president thing. And now I might. But with Candace Owens, it almost seems like anybody can trend online if they get in on the Candace Owens drama with Turning Point USA and just start commentating on it. And I don't want that to be me. Like, no disrespect to the other YouTubers I know that are chiming in on it. You put them in the thumbnail, you get her to address you, so you address her, and you go back and forth. It's just like, I don't want that to be my content online. Like, I don't want, like, I remember when it was like Johnny Somali. I wanted to cover Johnny Somali because of the way it was making Americans look on a global scale, how social media was harming real life, and just how stop being able to cash in on nuisance streamers. Like I wanted to cover that. And all of a sudden he started addressing me and he started to try to get my have his team mass report my channel. He was trying to like bring on the copyright claims on my stuff. Like he was just really targeting me. So I did address him. We did do that a bit back and forth. But I do remember he was doing some live chat when he was banned on all the platforms on X. And then him and his crew were like, oh, here's Decoy. He's on the chat. Is he a coward or is he going to talk to us? And I'm like, I very easily could have made a viral moment, a nice thumbnail. I could have, clipped it and had like, a big argument or drama online with him on a live chat telling him he's a jerk or whatever it is. But I'm like, that's not necessarily what I wanted what I do online to be, like a drama farmer, a drama merchant, because that is definitely a shortcut to success and fame and money. But honestly, I just don't want to get on that. So it's like, yeah, there's a lot of opinions I have on the Charlie Kirk assassination, Candace Owens talking about it, Tim Pool's rebuttal. But honestly, I just want to stay away from it because that makes the channel not about the actual subjects, This is Simu Sub-Zero channel. It is. I need to get a Sub-Zero action figure, a model or something like that over there to kind of to signify that you are indeed watching the Temu Sub-Zero thing. And so yeah, Decoy's too chill for the drama. Like I'll be honest, I'll watch the drama stuff. Like who's that guy? He's a guy that he just reminds me of me because he also stands when he talks. He talks a lot about the Hassan drama, the Ethan Klein drama. He's a white guy. He's kind of thin. He has two screens behind him. I can see everything except for what his name is. But there's a guy. He does a show and he talks about all the drama. So honestly, I subscribe to the drama. I'm petty. Like, you know, I'll watch it, but honestly, I don't want to get into it. It's not Salty Cracker. I just remember Salty Cracker. He shouted me out earlier on. Not him. It's not him. It's a guy kind of like him. No beard. Yeah, Lone Star. I said I live in California still. We're gonna talk about the new laws about to pass on January 1st. Some silly shit like the tortilla law is getting nuts, but. Yeah, there's probably an auto censor everywhere. But it's not Philip DeFranco. I don't watch him at all. What is it? I'm more Pegasus. He shows his face. He's a white guy. I feel like I need to look it up now. I need to look it up. But yeah, I'll consume drama content. I just don't want to be a drama merchant. We're gonna talk about the tortilla law pretty soon. In the next topic. Not James Lee. That guy's more of a I follow him on Instagram. James Lee's more of a what do we say it? Conspiracy theorist. Not Tectone. Tectone is not a skinny white guy. Tectone's like jacked, and he's also like huge or whatever. Nobody knows what his name is. It's funny. It's not Tectone. Tectone's like a shaved head. This guy's got hair. He stands up when he streams. Like he covers like Hassan drama. I feel like somebody's gonna be able to get it. He's coming up. He's coming up. Decoy Voice is not a white guy. I mean, maybe. But Willie Mac Show. That's his name. Willie Mac Show. I'll watch his stuff because I want to hear about the drama and him like kind of airing out the like what's going on with Hassan. And I respect the idea that he talked a lot of trash about Hassan, and then when Hassan said, "Come on my show, let's hash it out." He actually tried to have a debate with him, but honestly, just like Ethan Klein tried to debate him, you don't reason with Hassan. Hassan is like the what is it? Not the mental capacity, but the emotional capacity of arguing with a pigeon. Like they say, arguing with him would be like arguing with a pigeon or playing chess with a pigeon. No matter what you do on the board, how close you get to checkmating his king, he's just gonna knock over the pieces and strut around like he won anyway. That encapsulates who Hassan is. So, yeah, I like he and Nux. They get down with all the drama online. We don't need another drama streamer, especially a guy like me that I barely know any streamers at all. Like I'll talk about Hassan because he's the only one I really know about from the left. Because my only introduction to Beard on Twitch, like right on Twitch, we have 26 people watching, which is pretty cool for me. But I only know about online streaming because of Asmongold covered my stuff, so I watched him. And you can see on my Twitch, or what is it? Who do I follow? I follow Asmongold, who's live right now. Those are fireworks, right, guys? Donut Operator, Amiru, and then I guess they're all hiding behind the thing, whatever. But yeah, I don't follow many people on Twitch, but I'm learning. Yeah, and if you guys are on Twitch and you guys have Amazon Prime. If you haven't already, if you can give me your Amazon Prime sub, that'd be cool. If it's too complicated, I get it. But if you have Amazon Prime, you get a free $5 a month subscription. You can just assign it to me, twitch.tv/decoy, which is pretty cool. But I mean, no booby streamers. You say shaking your head, missing out. The problem is I was even showing people on Kick. I don't do much on Kick at all. But when I clicked on it, everybody in my feed was like a booby streamer, like where they strategically put the camera cuts off right there where they have like a low cut top, and I'm like, oh, thank you, Carol Plays, for the Prime sub. But the idea is, if I don't watch anybody on Kick, I'm on there. I think we have like maybe 10 people watching over on Kick. That's pretty cool. What is it? Oh, 26 people watching over on Kick. I don't watch anything, but it's like, oh, thank you, Leonard Drum, for the Prime sub. Really appreciate that. Oh, I know you've been around for a long time, too, on YouTube, so Appreciate that. But it's crazy that by default, it's like, oh, you logged on to Kick? Do you like booby streamers like that? Before it was even on the platform, all I knew Kick for was gambling. And then, thank you, Killing Us Softly for the Prime sub. Johnny Somali, they wouldn't ban him, which is, I think it's good you have a free speech platform out there. But it is sad that the only thing they seemed to attract in the beginning was booby streamers that got banned on other platforms and nuisance streamers that got banned on other platforms. It's kind of bad. And Vincento says you go on Kick to watch movies in the movie room category. It's kind of nuts how, like, YouTube, I can't have any background music. Like, one time I tried to have a Hey Arnold background jazz music throughout my live stream. It was kind of cool. It had a vibe to it. But then after it became finalized, I got copyright. Oh, thank you, Lord Enemy Spider, for the 5 gifted subs. When I had the here, I'm clicking that out there. When I had the music, it's like 20 different copyright claims on my live stream. But then on Twitch, they can straight up play like top 40 hits in the background. They don't get copyright claims at all. So it's like, YouTube, you can't play nothing. Twitch, you can play stuff or whatever. Kick, these guys are straight up playing movies in the back, like on stream. What was it? I remember a long time ago on Twitch, if you wanted to watch like a UFC pay-per-view fight, you could always find some idiot streamer holding up an Xbox controller, watching the live fight, and holding up an Xbox controller, pretending like he's playing UFC 5 on Xbox Live or whatever. But it's actually the actual fight. And I'm like, see, copyright stuff is nuts. Yeah, Hey Arnold music was dope. Yeah, and the thing is, what is it, Casey Tron? I've never watched a minute of her other than what's been posted on Twitter. But it seems like her and Hassan, they call it, what is it, Chaircast? Where it's just like, I could not imagine saying, all right, so pay me money, watch the mid-rolls, but you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and I'm still here, guys. I'm somewhere off camera. But like, I can't. These people get paid for this stuff? You can still watch UFC on Twitch. People make multiple accounts. And that's the thing, is like, you don't want that type of, all that stuff does is harm your earnings bottom line. Like, I don't want to sit here and cry, oh, I don't make enough money off streaming. But it's like, if enough people juke the stats and they're playing copyrighted content on their stream, it's just going to make more advertisers look at that and say, this is just some shady ass website. We're not going to advertise on here. So kind of funny they do it. I wish they would have better controls in place. Giving super serious commentary while doing it, I don't think you can. I think live content, you're not allowed to do that. She had Kitchen Nightmares playing while she slept in the background a couple years ago. Yeah, I don't understand how they do it. I was watching the girl from MXR Plays. She had like a 24-hour stream, but it was like 5 days, 24 hours. I'm like, how is she making this content this much? I don't get it. Nikon says, can I ask how old you are? You look both 20 and 40, so you want to know. 75, guys. 75, making me born in 1950, graduating high school in, you graduate when you're 18, so I'm not a math Asian. 1968, that's when I graduated high school, guys. 1968, that's how old I am. I'm so well preserved. That's the weirdest way to put it, man. Next time I'm hitting on a girl, I'll be like, man, you are just so well preserved. It's like technically a compliment, but I mean, also the weirdest way. Yeah, I went to school. Yeah, I only sound illiterate and am illiterate because I went to school in Los Angeles County and public school in Los Angeles County. So yes, I went to school. No, I didn't get an education. Heck, I'm just trying to turn this thing off. I have so many apps in this smart home. I'm trying to figure out how to turn this thing on. There we go. Are you my dad? Bite deity? No. Only works if she's over 35. I mean, Yeah, I get. You know what? That would be a compliment, but the weirdest way to make that compliment. Take 5 to 10 years away from what you think Asians look. Honestly, the only thing I think that makes Asians age is like lots of alcohol, smoking, or partying. Otherwise, we can look 20 forever. Yes, no, obviously I'm not born in 1968. Are you a Gangnam Korean? No, I'd be like a Jeju Island Korean. You dropped out of high school when they started doing Common Core math. I knew nothing about Common Core math until I had an employee who had a son in elementary school, and he was trying to explain to me what he was trying to learn from his kids' like worksheets, and it's like, how the fuck is who's pushing? Oh, thanks for the bits, Large Enemy Spider. Common Core math is like, how is that helping anybody? Like, whoever thought about that is an idiot. Soy sauce overdose. Does soy sauce make you age? Because I've heard different things. I know as a male, you're supposed to avoid soy, but I think females are supposed to consume a lot of it. Does it have to do with estrogen? I don't know. Honestly, don't know. Boomers are 46 to 65. Yeah, it's crazy to think about millennials where my tattoo artist, when I was getting work done from him, I just kind of felt like we were from two different generations. Like, I'm a millennial. I'm thinking he's like Gen Z, but no, he was a millennial too. Like, millennials could be kind of young. When does so yeah, soy's like estrogen, okay. But when does millennial cut off? Pretty tech savvy for a 58-year-old. Thank you. I appreciate that. Wait, what ages are millennials now? So they'd be 29 to 44. Yeah, and then I got my tats done maybe 3 years ago. So he was like 26 years old, and I was like, wait, this guy's you're a millennial? Like, it wasn't computing for me. Yeah, 29, 30 is the youngest millennial right now. Kind of interesting to know. What was the cutoff? What's the oldest millennial? Because I think my older brother is a millennial, and he's old. And they can be 44 years old. So I think he's like my older brother being like the cutoff in the top end. Wait, is he? No, yeah, he's at the top end. And I was meeting the guy that was like 26 years old at the time, and I'm like, you guys are very different, but we're all in the same category. I think that it's like my nephews and nieces are Summer and Gen Z, and then the other ones are in Gen Alpha, and it's nuts. Like, Gen Alpha is the 6-7 generation, which I am. I've never felt more like a boomer than I do now. But good God, yeah. Yeah, your sons are cut off at the 30 for the youngest. Yeah, that's different. Oh, what's up, Asobi? Thanks for modding over here. There's another decoy. I mean, honestly, yeah, there is. I could end up doing a podcast because I still have the secondary mic from when I had the DEI decoy on the show, Michael. I have a secondary mic because I thought I was gonna have more people coming on the show live, and then I realized I don't have friends. So there it is. There really is no difference between millennials and Gen Z other than the idea that it's just programmed to make me feel old. That's all. Yeah, you were saying, Will says, I'm 32 and consider millennial. Grew up when I had to go home before the streetlights came on and texting cost 25 cents. And that's the thing. I think my nephews and nieces have no understanding of screens that you can't touch. Like, I have no understanding as a kid of like wireless internet. Like, the cell phone stuff is wild to me, that like you get fast internet and a slightest hang up when you're browsing Instagram or something is frustrating. When I started using the internet when I was a kid, when we finally could afford it, was like, oh, you click on an MP3 and you're downloading it, and maybe you'll come back in 25 minutes and it's ready. Hopefully it's genuinely the song, not some corrupted nonsense. Yeah, we just started streaming like 26 minutes ago. Yeah, dial-up. Yeah, 56K dial-up, where it was like boop beep boop boop pop 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 and all the sounds or whatever. Like that was real internet. That's the true experience of being a millennial, in my opinion. Yeah, somebody calls you and the call drops off, or just the idea that it wasn't great internet. Like, it was sloppy. I remember trying to play a video game online, and it's like people complain about lag today, but you have no idea what it is to be like trying to follow somebody in Alien vs. Predator 2 and all of a sudden warping back 2 seconds and just running against a wall for like it's all messed up, man. Okay, 95, born in 95, 96, people are called cuspers. It's at the end, yeah. Phonographs, I don't even know what that is. Yeah, you get a telemarketer, the whole thing goes down. Yeah, if you get a number that all of a sudden gets registered on a whole bunch of telemarketing calls, just forget using the internet. It was terrible. Yeah, fax machines. I still remember when I was a kid and my parents like doing serious business. Okay, send a fax over. Send me the document and we'll sign it. We'll fax it back. Like, that was legit futuristic stuff, man. Okay, now we're getting old, guys. Now we're just talking about the old days on AOL Online, getting all those CDs. We gotta get out of this. We gotta get out of this loop, guys. Yeah, I still know people that tell me to email them at their AOL address. I still remember a period of time of saying like, look, if you're gonna get a girl's number, have a two-way, and it's like, oh yeah, here, call me, and then show them the two-way, like the two-way pager, little thing with the keyboard. It was like before the BlackBerry, and if they don't know what it is, they're too young for you. Xbox 360 20 years ago, man. Like Modern Warfare 2, like my favorite game of all time. There's now a generation of gamers that were never exposed to Call of Duty lobbies. All the F slurs, the N slurs, like I don't know what it is. We talked about it before, but me sounding like I do with my voice, for whatever reason, especially on Xbox 360, Modern Warfare 2, they just assumed that I was a black guy and I would get called the most horrendous slurs. Not for an Asian guy. I would get called slurs, and it was just what Modern Warfare 2 was about, you know? Like just getting together. It was a fun game, but good God, you had to have thick skin. You had to not be worried about being called slurs. They made another Modern Warfare 2. I was excited to play it again. It's not Modern Warfare 2. It's a different game called Modern Warfare 2 with some DEI involved. Like it got weird. Like I kind of roll my eyes whenever you play a video game and they're like, oh, I was even trying to watch the Terminal List Wolf something, Lone Wolf or whatever, thinking it was going to be a cool like action thing, but it's like, oh yes. And also the best fighter we have happens to be this female soldier who also happens to be a ethnic minority freedom fighter from this thing, and also she's more intelligent than all your CIA officers and your Navy SEAL and your SAS soldiers. Like, she's the best one. And I'm like, maybe not really want to watch the Terminal List, maybe not really want to play the new Modern Warfare 2. It just kind of it was bad. Modern Audience 2, yes, Captain Murphy, that's exactly what it was. It was Modern Audience 2. Roach and Soap were supposed to die. General Shepard was the bad guy, and I have a feeling that they rewrote that and made it different. Yeah. Most lobbies were loud, deep-fried music and coughing. Yeah, a lot of people that had mics that weren't working too well, or they had a mic that was too connected to their controller, so you can hear them pushing buttons the entire time. You had to mute everybody but your friends. Party chat only, guys. Text-based internet, yeah, where chat rooms were chat rooms. I remember that was like mind-boggling stuff, or like be going on AIM with your friends. Again, we need to stop talking about our member berries and just get to the topic, because this is getting ridiculous. We're talking about too much nonsense right now. Yeah, GoldenEye, that just we're aging ourselves right now. So yeah, we've been talking for long enough. Let's just go ahead and get to the first topic of the day. You guys haven't already, you're watching from, not on Decoy, we're only streaming on Decaf Decoy, so if you haven't already, subscribe over on Decaf Decoy. We're putting the clips over there. It's actually pretty cool that we're getting more viewers on a lot of these videos, so it's got a good community over at Decaf Decoy. If you haven't already, we're live streaming over on Twitch. Oh, it's just looping right now. So yeah, let's go ahead and get to the first topic of the day, because we covered the farmer protest over in Brussels Belgium. Good Lord, that's a hard word for me to say. In Brussels, Belgium, outside the European Union headquarters building, when they were discussing if they're going to sell the local farmers out. Now, in France, wow, that's a loud music. In France, they're still burning things down. The farmers are going nuts over there because they're afraid of, rightfully so, their livelihoods being taken away from them. Like you're seeing insane stories about farmers being in the UK being worried about the inheritance tax and ending things. It's insane. But also, as of the 20th of December, 2025, the blockades in France, the French farmers are blocking roads everywhere, all throughout the country. And it's almost like, I remember I was covering this story and somebody was saying, hey, I'm in Ireland in the EU, and our news outlets aren't covering this at all. Thanks, trailer for the Prime sub. They're not aware of this, but it's like, yeah, this is getting nuts. Like, you're having the farmers facing off with the local authorities, and it's almost like a civil war. And like, yeah, and Evan West says, farmers across Europe are pushing back against a tyrannical European Union. If you didn't have X, you'd never know. Yeah, a lot of you guys, if you're not on X and you're just watching me because I'm in the background, this is the first time you're seeing stuff like this. Yeah, you got these cops on bicycles that are there for little resistance. Peaceful protesters. They're not prepared on their bicycles and their bright orange helmets to stop full-blown tractors from mowing them down.
Les humains, on s'en fout. Tirez-nous à balles réelles dessus, je m'en branle. Mais gazez pas ces pauvres bestiaux.
Oh, this is like a full-blown song in the background, see? But, yeah, you have all these tractors. This is a huge protest occurring. And a lot of parts of the country, a lot of parts of Europe don't know anything about this. Yeah, you have that. And then also the mainstream coverage of the riot that I covered a couple days ago. It seems like they are somewhat honest in their coverage, but then it also seems like they're trying to paint a narrative over too. This is, I think, the New York Post. Yeah. Farmers launched potatoes at police during a fiery, what did they say? During a fiery protest in Brussels. So these were potatoes, because I remember I watched Asmongold watching my video. I'm like, hey, these are either what is it? Potatoes or very low, or rocks or very large potatoes. No, these were indeed potatoes. Mostly peaceful, yeah. Farmers in Brussels clashed with Belgian police on December 18th, intense demonstrations. After protesters came out against a European South American free trade agreement, dropping off all these potatoes get launched at them. And again, I think that it does seem like there is a bit of Antifa-like infiltration. These guys aren't genuinely farmers. They're just there direct stuff and to protest. But honestly, I think a lot of them are indeed farmers. Yeah, see, they're concerned the transatlantic agreement would destroy livelihoods. And again, even with the Antifa protesters, they're like the farmer protesters, the farmers who I'm somewhat on the side of, they're all under the assumption they're using the kid gloves on them. They wouldn't be launching fireworks and throwing potatoes at them if they genuinely concerned the riot police were going to use live rounds against them. So again, they're just, it's not even peaceful resistance. It's just they're towing the line. That actually looked like a rock. I mean, they weren't throwing a large stone at them near far enough, but I mean, they're going at them. But here's the thing is, they genuinely were destroying parts of, what is this? The European Union's station building. So it's in the courtyard. It's out there. Yeah, mostly peaceful. Oh, thanks for the subscription, Large Enemy Spider. Yeah, he brought a squash racket. I mean, I call it tennis, but squash racket to bat the tear gas back at the cops. We've seen the same thing over in America as well. But yeah, they're destroying stuff over there, and they say European farmers are the best protesters in the world. No one ever comes close to their level of style and protesting. So you see this, they're dumping manure, they're dumping garbage. They've done this a lot. Throwing manure out. There's literal cow poo on their building to show them no farmers, no food, no future. And the crazy part is, this is indeed from December 19th, right? Oh no, yeah, wait. Dropping off potatoes. It's great. This car got stuck in the potatoes. It was so thick. And here's the thing, I don't like when they block streets. I would be very upset that the farmers are upset with the European Union, a government that overlooks your government, and now you can't get to work, you can't go pick up your family, whatever this may be, because of the government's doing something. What does this random ass guy have to do with this thing, other than getting his car stuck in the potatoes? It's messed up. Yeah, poor BMW. But here's the thing. 10,000 farmers came to protest. This was as of December 18th, a couple days ago. So, 10,000 farmers. Most of you guys wouldn't have even known anything about this. Yeah, mashed potatoes now. Jesus. Should I add a Ford? I mean, that would just probably make your vehicle more heavy. And this is Europe, so obviously I don't even think they sell Fords over there, do they? BMW is like Fords here. Yeah, that's it. It's in Germany. But yeah, 10,000 farmers all across Europe coming over there. You see some French flags, Italian flags. That almost looks like a Mexican flag because it's green, has something in the middle, and it's red, but maybe that's just a variation. Maybe they wrote something on an Italian flag there, and it's just blowing the other way. Looks like there's a Polish flag out there. But yeah, they're out there. They're in Brussels. But it's not to be confused with, in Belgium, stunning scene, 2,700 plus tractors hit Brussels in protest of the government's nitrogen emissions reduction plans that will destroy their industry. Tractors, protesters, everywhere, right? Looks exactly like the scene we saw a couple days ago, but if you look closer there, it's from 2023. So they've been having these massive farmer protests for a very long time. And even somebody asks about this post right here about, oh yeah, 27 plus tractors. Is this recent or the one a couple months ago? The recent, the 3 days ago. So they've been having non-stop farmer protests across Europe, protesting the European Union. So you got to wonder, are they even accomplishing anything? Yes. They're burning things. They're blocking roads. They're using tractors against their local authorities. They're throwing potatoes everywhere, throwing manure everywhere. But does it do anything? And the sad part is if you look at, this is the best place I could find information on it, 2023 European Union farmers protest. So this is from 2023. This is likely talking about the Dutch, German, French, and Polish farmers protesting over in Brussels. 2 people lost their life in this protest. Tragic. But they say the responses. So the French president, Emmanuel Macron, said, we're going to reform the farming sector, guaranteed fair prices for farmers. There's an aid package for 160 million for French farmers in the need of financial aid. In Germany, they said they cannot afford to help the farmers, saying there's no more money. Wonder where all the German tax dollars went. The European Union said they conceded to some farmers' demands, especially those of Polish farmers, agreeing to implement a cap on tariff-free Ukrainian grain imports. And they said, oh, there's also misinformation. But honestly, I don't believe a single thing I see over on Wikipedia of all places. But just the crazy thing is, they've been protesting this entire time. It seems like they give them some concessions, but in another year, when the farmers have left the area, they're going to pass new rules and regulations. They're going to sell out their local farmers even more. It's almost like they know they can't get everything done in one fell swoop. They can't take away all their rights. They can't sell the people out in the first day. But over time, it's a war of attrition. Eventually, they're going to get their Green New Deal. Eventually, they're going to get all their globalism agenda done. The farmers are doing a good job protesting. It seems like they're making headway. But honestly, I think they're on the losing side of this war. And it's kind of scary to think that that's how it is with everything. Like every protest that we have, like what is it, the liberal agenda in America, the Green New Deal. Remember, they wanted to pass the Green New Deal here. They couldn't get it done, so the Democrats took all the elements of the Green New Deal, repackaged it as the Inflation Reduction Act, and then got that passed because, oh, everybody wants to reduce inflation. But then they openly said, oh yeah, we have all our green initiatives in the Inflation Reduction Act. And it's sad that that's the status of our political system right now. It's not about us ever accomplishing anything. It's not about them ever getting their way. It's just about slowly chipping away at your rights one at a time. So you think you're winning. You think the farmers are doing something because they're like blocking all the streets. They're throwing poo on the side of the European Union headquarter building, but they're still losing just slowly. I think what's the quote from The Wire where the Presbelusky, the teacher, he's watching a college basketball game and his girlfriend says, "Oh, who's winning?" And he says, "Nobody ever wins in this game. There's just one team that loses slower." And I take that to heart. Like a lot of stuff in The Wire I took to heart, but you never win. You never beat your government. You just kind of lose slower than the other one. It's sad. It's the most frustrating part about it all. It's sad. I think last live stream I complained about, I thought I was getting sick, and then that entire week, like if you've been watching the Decoy main channel, you realize I haven't been doing many videos, and it's because I've been pretty sick, and then now I'm kind of at the tail end. So honestly, I think that I was sick, getting better, but then yeah, just kind of surrounded by my live streams. No, I'm not doing any of that. I'm just a naturally energetic person, but yeah. What's my favorite book back there? Honestly, what was a good book that I read? I can see it from here. That book, Steal Like an Artist. It's a really old book. I read it recently, so it's new to me. Steal Like an Artist was pretty good. I really liked it. Elon, no. I'm not that sick right now. I was very sick. I think I took an entire day where I did like next to nothing. That's why I said, like, if you follow me over on Twitter, you know I was playing Expedition 33 for a while. And that was a fun game, but that was just kind of my downtime. Yeah, I thought it was a cold, but actually it was probably the flu just because of how much everything hurt for a long time. Honestly, here's my conspiracy theories. You know, over in California, from Northern California to Southern California, we had that radiation fog thing going around. My conspiracy theories, I think that thing got me sick. They say, you know, it's just bad air quality. Oh, it has nothing to do with all the news reports that kept on telling me that radiation fog is normal. It happens every year. But I'm like, I don't think I've ever heard of radiation fog until this year. And all of a sudden, everybody's talking about, like, showing videos on social media local to me. Oh, here's some chemtrails. Look at all the chemtrails. And all of a sudden, this radiation fog rolls in. And then me and a couple of people that I know get really sick all at the same time. You've heard of radiation fog in the Fallout games, because radiation fog isn't radiation. It's apparently when what is it called? The cloud cover. Oh, thank you, Large Enemy Spider, for the bits. The cloud cover that like traps in all the bad air, and I'm like, no, man, it just made me like I sick in a way I haven't been sick in a very long time, since I had like COVID a while ago. And people have been saying this is like they've been getting sick for a long period of time, and I'm like, yeah, this is longer that I've been sick for like probably a week now. Like I was coming down with it last live stream on Monday, and it just kind of drug on. So it's sad. Yeah, no text to speech. I honestly can't figure out the text to speech stuff. Like people use Streamlabs. Whenever I've used Streamlabs, it just doesn't connect. I don't even see my chat. Now I've been on I'm on Restream, so I can see all my chats in one area. So it's pretty good. Yeah, a lot of people got COVID and just sped through it. Like I think my father was one of the people that never caught COVID, but honestly, I just probably a descendant of someone that had the Black Plague and just it just didn't affect him, didn't impact him. He was fine. He probably got COVID a bunch of times, just never impacted him. So one of the lucky ones. Tinfoil hats and copper hats. No, if you have a copper hat in California, some junkie's gonna steal it for you and try to recycle it. Smoking confused COVID. Yeah, I remember in the beginning they said it was a respiratory illness, and the job I had at the time before I got furloughed was I was dealing with a lot of homeless people, a lot of junkies just in the area, and I was sold on the idea that if this is a respiratory illness and it's getting, people's lungs, and you see all the footage from China where people are just passing out and blood's coming out from their mouth, I was absolutely certain that the homeless population was just going to get decimated. Like in Los Angeles County, I'm like, oh, you don't want it to happen, but honestly, this homeless issue is about to solve itself, because if there's a respiratory illness coming from China, they don't wash their hands, they don't wear masks, they're just out there in their own filth. We're about to see some pretty gnarly mortality rates, but then all of a sudden you saw it almost didn't even impact the homeless population. Like I remember on the last live stream, we covered how me and my buddies went down to Santa Monica and we just interviewed the homeless, like, hey, what's been going on with you guys? And we just asked them about how many people have you lost? Because everybody on my end had lost people. We knew people, like older people that got locked down, or elderly people, or people that had like comorbidities. We all knew people that passed away, but it didn't seem like any of the homeless people we talked to knew somebody that had passed. And then there was that big conspiracy theory that nicotine helped fight it. And I'm like, I wonder if there was something to that, because none of these guys have good lungs. They're out there smoking crack all day, but they do chain smoke their cigarettes. Was there something to it? I don't know. It came from China, but it was from Fauci funding the lab. I honestly, now that they had that Trump has voided his pardon, I wonder if he's going to go down for that. LA has almost 32 flock cameras there, open to the public. I don't know what that is, actually. I think COVID was real, but it's debatable as to where most of the positive tests you got was it the flu. Did those PCR tests catch COVID, but also catching the flu? So regardless, if you were just sick, you tested positive. I don't know. I'll cover super chats at the end, but we are going to talk about Nicki Minaj in this episode. It's crazy. If COVID gave you POTS, I think it was real. There was some real stuff going on, and I know people that got very sick, and it was real. But honestly, I don't know if it was to the level that they said it was. At least to me, because I had a young employee. He was probably like 20 or 22 years. No, 19 or 20 years old, because he couldn't drink at the time. Healthy guy, buff guy. And, we, in my job, we weren't really concerned about it. And all of a sudden we came to work the next day and they said, hey, he's in the hospital now. He said that he woke up, crazy fever, couldn't breathe. And it's like, wait, I thought this was like elderly people. No, he caught a strain of it, like the original alpha strain, and was hospitalized. It was pretty gnarly. And they said this was like before the vaccine too. And it was like, yeah, he thought he was going to go. It was crazy. 80s Dinosaur talks about Fauci being around when AIDS is a thing. It's crazy how much the left, like, they made Fauci out to be some sort of like folk hero when they were also like appalled by him because of Dallas Buyers Club about what happened with the AIDS epidemic and how do I phrase this nicely? Fueled it? No, I wouldn't say fueled it. How he contributed to the AIDS epidemic. And all of a sudden, now he's the hero of Reddit and the left. Well, they say the hospitalization case was due to pneumonia, but how much was it because of the first treatments that we had for it were making it worse? Like they said, the ventilators were causing the deaths. What was that? Was it remdesivir? I'm not a doctor, I don't know, but there was one medication you could get. It would make you better. But then the COVID rebound was worse than had you not treated it in the first place. And it's like, how much did we just say, trust the science? And the scientists later admitted, we don't know what the fuck we're doing. Like, how much of it, 6 feet apart? They said they just made that shit up. First the mask worked, then they didn't work, then they did work, then they didn't work. Like, it was a mess. Yeah, they hate the pharmaceutical. Like, oh, they don't like big pharma, but they defended it. Protect big pharma from the Trump administration. Like the Trump derangement syndrome had them so backwards that they're willing to defend the healthcare industry, which was wild. Yeah, exaggerate like H1N1. I remember when. Where was I at the time? I was probably in school, and H1N1 bird flu was going around, and I was talking to this girl who wanted to go take a trip to Mexico, and I was bringing it up, and it was sad because I was somewhat connected to the internet, learning about H1N1 and saying like, "Oh my god, the bird flu is going to be a terrible thing," and she was like, "Wait, I'm going to the heart of the bird flu, and I know nothing about this." Like it was wild. Juju Island or Jeju Island? I don't know. Yeah, pure blood here. Isn't it crazy to think about like you can go into the dating universe in the near future, not the near future, right now, and you'll one of the questions you'll have like long-term relationship wise was, hey, were you did you get that that mRNA jab? Like that would be a genuine concern of a lot of people because you just don't know long-term results from that because there is no long-term studies. But also, what was it? I saw something. Yeah, but that's a real thing. And honestly, I just remember that I was at my barber's place, and the barber, for whatever reason, shares an office building with something that does stem cells, like stem cell injections. And the guy was on the phone, like talking to a client, and I just overheard him saying, "And just so you know, we only use platelets and donations from non-vaccinated individuals of your ethnicity." And it's like, what a bizarre thing that they'd even need to clarify with you at this point in time. Yeah, pure. And that's the thing is, like, I think that back in the day, it used to be probably, oh, I got vaccinated. Like I remember there used to be all these memes about like, oh, which one you get? You get the Johnson & Johnson or you get the Moderna one? Oh, I got AstraZeneca. And like you could brag about which one you got, and it was a kind of a funny thing. Oh, I got it from all the different doses. And it's like, I think in the future, because Gen Z is more conservative and more based than any generation before, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, I stood up against them because I didn't get it. Oh, this is how I people were fabricating the card and everything. Like I never did that. I just straight up said, if a business isn't going to allow me to go inside without a vaccination card, they can go F themselves. But yeah, people were talking about how it's like a point of not privilege, a point of like bragging to have gotten it. I think it'll be the opposite now. Well, we're not going to get too much into it, but just the idea that a lot of doctors are saying you're taking healthy cells and making them produce the spike protein, the gnarly part of the virus in the first place. Why would you make healthy cells produce that? I personally know someone that on an injection site got a nasty cancer very shortly after it. Who is the chat? Who is the Minecraft YouTuber that randomly got the same cancer that somebody I know got, and he passed away super fast, and it was in the arm, and I think he had to get his arm removed, and it's like, you're never going to ask him, because it's like, it's just not, we don't know him, you're not a family, but you really want to know, was that your vaccine site cancer right on the bone? Technoblade, yeah, super sad story. Kind of nice to know that he Technoblade was chasing that ever elusive 10 million subscribers, didn't get it when he passed away, but now I think he's like way beyond it. Oh shit. Technoblade. Yeah, he's at 21 million subscribers since passing away. His So Long Nerds, his video that they released after he passed away, 122 million views. So he, it's not all about money, it's about legacy, but he did probably pass along a substantial amount of money just in that video alone to his two younger siblings so they can go to college. Yeah, did anybody know him? Yeah, it was Technoblade. But I wonder, because it was all around the same time, like I remember at that time it was DMX, who is the famous black boxer randomly died of heart complications? It was DMX. It was that boxer. It was Hank Aaron. All three of them, they caught it like right after the doses came, and they had heart complications. And they went away, and they said, "Oh, it couldn't have been. You couldn't tie to the vaccine. No, 100% you couldn't." And later on, they say, "Okay, yeah, in men especially, myocarditis, that's a side effect." Marvin Hagler, yes, thank you. I keep on forgetting about it. Was it Marvin Hagler that he died of what? Was it heart complications? Passed away, 66 years old, so he was young. Oh my god, yeah, scroll. Natural causes in 2021. This is around the vaccine came out. So they wouldn't say it, and honestly, you wouldn't. Like, you don't want to make it political. Yeah, pericarditis. Okay, so the one thing I'll say about pericarditis is before the vaccine came out, I had a young employee, very healthy, different guy, the one that got real sick, but a young employee that said during COVID, before the vax came out, he said he woke up, his heart was in a lot of pain, and he was like, "Oh my god, do I have COVID?" Goes to the doctor, and she's like, "You don't have COVID, you have pericarditis." Test him for it. He had it. And it's like pericarditis is like a one in a million diagnosis. It's super rare, especially amongst like the guy was probably like 22 years old, very healthy, just tall, skinny guy, played basketball a lot. For him to randomly have it before the vax came out wasn't COVID positive. It's like the inflammation of the sac around your heart. He had it, and it's like it was a wild time, man. But no, it was DMX, Hank Aaron, Marvin Hagler, three older but in shape black famous people passing away like that, and it's like I had, yeah, they say SADS is like SIDS for kids. Something was taking a lot of people out all at the same time. Scary stuff. It said Killinator says they were making it a year before it happened. I wonder if it was just the mRNA stuff they were making. I know that one of them copyrighted something to do with it, and that was kind of scary, but yeah, we got you know what happened to monkeypox? Everybody knows what happened to monkeypox. They found out that it wasn't just a random disease, it was an STD, and everybody's wondering, wait. Why are there cases of kids? Why are there cases of dogs getting it? It opened up a lot of doors, a lot of questions that they didn't want to answer, so they just didn't want to talk about it anymore. And that was honestly one of the craziest things to me, where it was like the ultimate self-snitching of someone that is indeed a bigot or a racist, when they say, you can't call it monkeypox, it makes you racist. And I'm like, what the fuck? We're talking about monkeys. Like, that was what it passed over. Just like how it's the Wuhan virus, because that's what we identified it. Just like the West Nile virus. It's not because we have any prejudices against people from the West Nile. It's because that's where we discovered it. And all of a sudden they're like, oh, you can't call it monkeypox because it's insensitive. And I'm like, whoever you think is insensitive towards, if it's a human being, you are the biggest bigot and you just don't even know it. But okay. Let's see. Yeah, that's the thing, is monkeys aren't people. Who are you attaching that to? It's wild. Yeah, the dengue fever, the dengue fever is nuts, man. Yeah, Lyme disease from Lyme, Connecticut, or possibly a bioweapon. I don't know. Yeah, the Spanish flu, it's how we've always called it, but they have such bad Trump derangement syndrome that, yeah, exactly. The swine flu comes out. If you say, hey, the swine flu is insensitive to heavy people, it's like, no, you're an asshole if you think the swine is more attached to heavy people than you do to actual pigs. Ridiculous. And the thing is, someone says they thought it was a coal. I think it's just, that's the nature of species. Whenever you get overpopulated, a virus comes and wipes you out. It's like a checks and balances thing in nature. What is it? I think someone pulled up an old video of how she's saying we're long overdue for a pandemic, or Trump is going to face a pandemic in his administration. It's like, yeah, because just because you forgot about monkeypox, swine flu, bird flu, West Nile, like there's been a pandemic waiting to happen all the time. It's just this one got mainstream media attention because of all that footage that came out of China, in my opinion. Yeah, SARS. I remember SARS. That was supposed to be a big thing. And remember, after COVID, if you went on any like CNN, MSNBC, Daily Mail, there was always like this new virus coming out of New York. This new virus we saw over in Panama. Could this be the next COVID? Like, we kept on seeing the next big thing because that became clickbait. You know, like just like YouTubers started saying it's over too much, myself included, saying the next pandemic became the new news's clickbait. Yeah, remember when the dog got monkeypox? Remember when the kids were getting monkeypox and they were like, wait, what is the common denominator? Who do all these people and animals have in contact with that are catching monkeypox? And it was like, wait, guess we need to back away from this narrative, just like, you know, the Stop Asian Hate stuff. Oh my God, Stop AAPI Hate or whatever. Like, yeah, everybody was on board with it until they say, okay, what is disproportionately harming elderly Asian people in these big cities? It's not the cops, it's something else, but the mainstream media doesn't want to cover that, so all of a sudden Asian lives don't matter as much because it's going to impact the other narrative too much. Unfortunate. Yeah. Okay, let's go ahead and get to the next topic because this is pretty heavy. But over in Australia, they said 7 men were arrested after operation in Sydney's Liverpool release, where 7 men were arrested in Sydney over fears a violent act was possibly being planned had been released. So they were traveling, I think it was 9 hours from another part of Australia to get to Bondi Beach. It says 7 men. I've heard 5 men as well, but they were all being arrested and then they were released because apparently there was no justification to arrest 7 men dressed in black, traveling 9 hours to go somewhere because they're going to the beach.
The information received was that Bondi may have been one of a number of locations that the males were intending to attend, but the reason for attending is unknown.
You had them in custody. You keep them in custody until you figure it out. If you're worried about a terror attack, and a lot of your news stories say they had extremist religious ideology, you arrested 7 guys traveling 9 hours dressed in all black, not saying where they wanted to go. You gotta figure it out, guys.
The justification for their ongoing detention no longer exists, subject to a review of evidence. They will continue to be monitored whilst in New South Wales, and we will work closely with our Victorian and Commonwealth law enforcement partners.
I honestly wonder how much of this monitoring they're going to do, because you're not about state-sponsored, a big brother watching over everybody. But honestly, if it's reported they had extreme religious ideology, traveling 9 hours across Australia to go to what I believe was the memorial for the Bondi Beach incident, I'm concerned. Because you see the guys and they got released. One of them is barefoot. I don't know why.
We just came to Sydney, so I'm sure we came here to have a vacation. So kind of low. We booked the
vacation at the beach. Sometimes I dress in all black when I go vacation at the beach. Okay.
The second day, we booked the Airbnb. Midway through the drive, the Australian, I got told, the highest of the highest in the police army. They were, what were they called? The Australian task force. I don't know what the technical Australian unit, the highest of the highest officers. They came in Land Cruisers. We were driving, we stopped.
Yeah, because they had like straight up SWAT anti-terror groups arresting them because something populated them on their radar. I don't think it was a random stop and frisk if they were tracking them down with this like high anti-terror unit. Something made them believe they were up to something, and now they're out.
I'm not scared nothing about love. We're at the green light, it was red light on this one, they killed
If they came on the lights, we would have stopped, but they just smacked the car.
Show us your injuries, man. Show us your injuries.
Look at him. Me,
I can't show it, but it's 2 centimeters in.
I can't show it because there's a bandage on it. I can't assume anything. We'll just play.
I got cleaned up. I got bashed.
You alright? Any injuries?
I got kicked in the head, but
He got kicked in the head.
One of the boys got tasered. Two of the boys got tasered.
They're laughing about it because they got tasered. I don't know how bad it really was if they're just giggling about it.
Look, so two of the boys got arrested in a street,
Yeah.
and they got arrested. They got bashed and they got because there's no one watching. But we got arrested on the main road. So
There's no one watching this footage of it.
Like we still got like they oppressed us so much, and they changed our charges just to keep us longer. We've been in custody for 27 hours. There's no evidence, and they had to let us go, but there was no choice. And like it was just they were holding rock. And like right now, you can see we have no shoes.
Yeah, what happened to their shoes?
There's still no evidence, mind you. There's no evidence. I still have no phone. I have no car now. I don't know how I'm gonna get back
All
to
right,
Sydney.
I'm gonna hook you up, cuz. All right, I'm gonna take a number.
I wonder if that's an Aussie guy saying he's going to help him out. Because now, seeing like, Australia Bondi, Liverpool arrest, the Australian Broadcasting Corporation, their headline is Men Left Shaken After Liverpool Arrest. Intend to sue, what is it, NSW, New South Wales, I'm guessing, police. 7 men arrested by counterterrorism police to take legal action. I think they're going to be successful. With the way we're seeing how Australia is protecting them, and they're so desperate to not be called, non-inclusive, to not being open to other ethnicities, even though this insanely tragic terror attack occurred on another minority group in Australia. They're so willing to bend over backwards. I wouldn't be surprised if these guys all walk out with $1 million payouts, or what is it? Yeah, it's Australian dollars, $1 million Australian dollar payouts. I wouldn't be surprised because you see this over here. Australia, 4 units out there to protect their mosques.
This is not the Australia that I grew up in, where we have police outside the masjid.
And here's the things. I don't like the idea that you had people threatening the family of the people that did it. Maybe they were involved, maybe they wouldn't. We should be able to trust that our law enforcement agencies are going to be able to research and say, were they involved in planning? Do they still belong to be here? But if they were totally in the woods about it, I mean, I know plenty of instances in America where you had batshit insane husband does some heinous crime and the wife is just also a victim of their criminal behavior. We don't know it yet, so I don't like the idea that they were going after the family before we actually have anything confirmed. So I can somewhat understand if they're going to protect the mosques, but is there going to be equal protection for the inverse of that? Because this was a terror attack from one side onto the Australian people. Do they get the same amount of security? All over at their memorial event, they put diversity barriers. If it's so extreme they need these diversity barriers and actually parking buses perpendicular to the road so they can stop people from coming in there, you'll wonder. Now they have a lot of officers there. They even have like some snipers up top. A diversity barrier is something so they can't allow someone to drive through and run everybody over, because apparently they brought in a lot of people from a certain belief that think that that's what they should do. Being PG-13 is possible, but yeah, they have diversity barriers, snipers. It looks like they're locking down. It's becoming a complete police state, because it's insane where they think, what is the most dangerous threat to the Australian people right now? And this is what is it? This is the Albanese. Who is Albanese? I want to get this right. Is he a prime minister? The prime minister of Australia. Okay, cool. So I was right, but yeah. This is what he thinks is the most dangerous threat to Australia right now.
To follow on Ruben's question, is radical Islam, in your view, the greatest domestic security threat Australia faces?
Well,
It's kind of like, hold on, let me fix the volume. He said, is radical, that religion, the biggest threat to Australians right now?
assessments are that that is one of the issues that we're dealing with. But I want to deal with all of the threats.
Okay, yeah. That's the only one that's on our mind, because that's the only one that shot up a whole bunch of people for 20 minutes straight. And the crazy part about this that we didn't know in the very beginning is, one, that hero of a man, what's his name? Ahmed Al-Ahmed? I think that was what his name was. I don't want to get it wrong. But the total badass that disarmed the guy, took the rifle away from him, and then he actually got shot a couple times, is he got shot by the female cop. The female cop didn't, they weren't shooting anybody, any of the guys actually doing the shooting. They shot the guy that was trying to save people. And then also, the only person that actually got the guy that was on the bridge, the one that lost his life, the father, he was shot by a male detective with a handgun that was just waiting for an opportunity to get him. So all the female cops there, beyond disgraceful.
Whether it be extremist perversions of Islam leading to support for the ideology promoted by ISIS, whether it be also concerned about the issue of sovereign citizens killing police.
Whoa. So he can't just say, hey, look, these are bad people. Why don't you say these are bad people? Like, hey, we want to be accepting of all religions, but if you have somebody doing extreme stuff, we're gonna lock you up. We're gonna throw you in prison forever. We're gonna deport the people that would say they're gonna commit stuff. Like, it's not that hard to say there's bad actors in every group, but why do you gotta say there's bad actors in this group, but also there's bad actors in conservative groups too? Like, this is nuts.
In Victoria and Queensland, I'm concerned about neo-Nazis thinking it's okay.
Yet, you know what? We should all be concerned about neo-Nazis, but honestly, I can't find a single incident of them doing a mass incident, getting free reign to pop people for 20 minutes anywhere in the globe, because it would be an atrocity. It's insane. It's we don't want that to happen. But you're talking about, this is like the ultimate straw man. I haven't seen it. The only time I've seen neo-Nazis committing mass acts of violence would be when there was the Azov battalion and the liberals' favorite military, the Ukrainian military. We knew they had Nazi symbolism on their uniform. Senators and Republican congressmen were concerned about us giving them financial aid years ago. This is way before Trump was in office. We knew they were white supremacists. We knew they had Nazi, they had the black sun on them. They had a lot, they were neo-Nazis. We knew about it. And yet we never saw the mainstream media say, hey, those are dangerous neo-Nazis. We need to make sure that they're not able to do anything. But some reason, the best example of them doing something bad is ignored conveniently to try to paint the conservative movement as a equivalency to these literal scumbags committed a mass incident on Bondi Beach. It's insane to me that, one, I have to censor it this much, but insane to me that he's trying to draw these parallels. There's only one group that was shooting them on Bondi Beach. Talk about that, you fucking idiot.
To march down our streets dressed in black, not worrying about their faces being covered, explicitly promoting that as well.
Show me the footage of that. Show me the footage of that. You're so concerned about it. I feel like if there were just like all the hate crimes in America, if it was such a problem, you wouldn't need a Jussie Smollett. You wouldn't need a Bubba Gump. Bubba Wallace? Is that the NASCAR guy? You wouldn't need all the fake stories to be propped up and championed as if that was an example of how bad things are. If you had a genuine event of these guys wearing masks in black and doing terribly violent things, this wouldn't just be an idea you're afraid of. You can point to the incident of them doing something terrible and all be on your side saying, yes, let's stop them from doing terrible things. But as long as it doesn't exist, as long as you're just making this scary boogeyman up, I'm going to say, stop talking about that and talk about the real thing that would happen in your country. And also the idea of, hey, 7 individuals were traveling 7 miles. 7 individuals traveling 9 hours. God, I'm getting so confused. 7 individuals traveling 9 hours to get to a beach, all dressed in black. Your news outlets are saying they had extreme religious values. Let's worry about that.
Some of these things are not new. James Salim, National Action person, tried to kill Eddie Fundi from the African National Congress when I was a student. I was a candidate against that reprehensible fascist.
And that's the thing that I'm always irritated at. Whenever you have an incident not even an incident that is related to it. Whenever there's an incident that occurs that just reinforces the politician's pre-existing platform. If you ran on something and said, you know what, I ran on it, I haven't fixed it, but here's a reason why I need more power to fix it. It's just you standing on the graves as a soapbox to say, see guys, I was right. Give me more power to strip more of your rights away. That's what I see it as. But it's never, I ran on the platform of getting rid of extremist far-right groups. But me seeing what happened at Bondi Beach is changing my mind, and now I'm willing to protect the people because I saw the harsh realities of the world that I enabled. It's not that. It's him saying, you know what? Because this group did something terrible, now I get to be empowered to do what I was always trying to do in the first place. Absolutely disgusting.
At Sydney University in 1983. This has been around a long period of time. There are issues have escalated.
You're making stuff up. They asked you, is this type of extremism the biggest problem Australians face? And you started going on a tirade of what you campaigned on however many years ago. Disgusting. Then what is it? The one guy on Twitch said, Philo Rican says, never let a good tragedy go to waste. That's exactly what they're doing here.
And we need to take action against all of them.
Yeah. Let's just listen to the first question again.
To follow on Ruben's question, is radical Islam, in your view, the greatest domestic security threat Australia faces?
Is that the greatest domestic security threat? He took the next minute and 15 seconds to rant about conservatives, far-right people. Because, yeah, Selena posting, this is the Nazi flag that was in their that was there in the car. These are the far-right neo-Nazis he's so concerned about, this group right here. But it's crazy enough that he's doing that. But now you have commercials. So imagine you're part of the family, or you were there, and you were involved in that attack, this horrific attack, scarring the rest of your life. You're probably never going to feel safe ever again. And rightfully so. You probably shouldn't in Australia, because you've been disarmed. But you go on, watch television, turn on sports ball, they play cricket or they play rugby over there, whatever it is, and you see this commercial. What an absolute slap in the face, saying, yes, these guys from this group attacked you, were able to fire on your group indiscriminately for 20 minutes. If you stepped in to fight them, a female copper was going to pop you instead. But you know who's the real threat? The people criticizing that.
Enough.
No more division.
No more hate. No more racism.
No more anti-Semitism.
No more.
They had it saying no more anti-this because they're talking about the group that opened fire on that Hanukkah event. Good. No more of this. Stop allowing them to fire on them, and stop allowing them to have a free pass when it comes to saying these atrocious things online and saying, well, you know what? It's just they're also a marginalized community.
Islamophobia.
This country is built on diversity,
On fairness. On respect. Everyone is equal.
Everyone deserves to feel safe.
Hate is where it starts. Here is where it stops.
Hate is where it start. That group hated that other group. That's why they opened fire. That's why waves of people online celebrated these guys as if they're heroes, not the cowardly people they were. But they say, if this is where it stops. So are they going to take swift action upon the extreme side of that religion? Are they going to start deporting all the people that are planning these things, that are celebrating these things? And I'm saying, like, freedom of speech is one thing. But if you saw that incident at Bondi Beach and somebody in Australia was saying, good job, guys, you're heroes, or, we need more incidents like that, that should be grounds of instant deportation. I see no reason to keep that person in your country if they can see a mass incident and think that was okay. Even if they're just trying to make an online joke, it's like, no, we have no place for that in society. So is this group in this commercial targeting those that would celebrate the incidents over at Bondi Beach? Or are they just using this commercial to say, hate's where it starts, this is where it stops, so we're going to start silencing you?
It's time to stand up to hate.
No, because they're using signs of this. These weren't the people that opened fire on your countrymen. This was it. where's the disconnect here? Why is it like this? Because what's really getting nuts is the police are saying, hey, we're going after hate speech. Okay, cool. Which side of this equation, though?
Essentially, the National Security Investigations teams are a flying squad of hate disruptors who focus on high harm, high impact.
What, did you say firing squad?
Security Investigations teams are a flying squad.
Oh, flying squad. I was going to say, I was like, no, we saw how effective you guys were at engaging in a firefight, so don't go down that path.
Of hate disruptors who focus on high harm, high impact, politically motivated violence, communal violence, and hate crimes that don't meet the threshold for terrorism investigations, but that we know drive fear and division.
You know what drives fear and division? 7 individuals driving an all black to a beach 9 hours away. Again, they may just be, that's just how they party, but there should have been some sort of public release to say, hey, don't worry about going to Bondi Beach. These guys were going there because they got an auntie that lives nearby, or, you know, they got a new job they do. Like, something should have been released saying, hey, we messed up. These guys aren't terror related. Not the way it went down, saying the news outlet said, hey, they have extreme religious views, and also we just lost the legal right to hold them. It was beyond 48 hours or whatever their rules are in Australia. This is what's causing more division.
This is all about stopping hate and division earlier and well before it leads to violence. So far, this crack squad has charged 14 individuals across 13 investigations, and of those, 4 individuals across 4 operations were charged for offences relating to anti-Semitism. The teams were responsible for a recent week-long national blitz on the distribution and display of prohibited symbols, and for charging a passenger who only this week allegedly threatened violence toward a member of the Jewish community on a flight from Bali to Sydney.
I wonder who these individuals are. If they're dishing out this justice evenly based on actions, not color of their skin, by all means, it sounds good on the surface, but are they going to implement it fairly? I have zero faith in them.
The announcement today to boost the numbers of our hate disruptors, as well as planned changes to lower the threshold for hate speech, will make it easier for the AFP to take action quicker. It could be the difference between us just knocking on a door to warn an individual to an individual being placed in handcuffs.
So they're going to start, there's hate speech laws now, right? But it seems like they're just going to use those laws to silence the people. Because here you had the Australian Prime Minister, what was his name? Albanese. He's getting booed when he's going to the Bondi Beach, their memorial event.
Minister of Australia, Anthony Albanese.
They're booing him.
Federal, excuse me.
Oh, excuse me. He only allowed this to happen. But it's crazy how it wasn't the only time he got booed. Yeah, he is not welcome over there. Light over darkness. I can't even hear what they're saying. Oh, they're shouting shame at him.
The Prime Minister.
So yeah, they're booing him over there, but now they're arresting some of the people, saying, oh, he's yelling blood on your hands, which could be argued this is largely his fault. And that's the thing, is Australia's not equipped for what's happening to him right now. So yeah, Oh, look at how many officers they have to take on this man who's unarmed, who's just trying to get his words of dissatisfaction to the Prime Minister over. But if he was on a bridge of a certain group firing on them, I wonder if they'd be that quick to take action on him. It's disgusting.
Hands! Blood on your hands!
Plenty of cops for this. And that's the thing, is there's the Prime Minister, has all the largest male coppers around. But the Hanukkah event at Bondi Beach apparently only had, 4 female coppers there that didn't want to do anything. And then they said, I think it was probably the Prime Minister came out, I don't have the video pulled up right now, saying something along the lines of, there's a video of her with her hands up, and it's very misleading because she was there directing people away from it. You know what? It's so ridiculous. I gotta pull it up. Let's see. I see the guy talking about it, but where is it the Prime Minister? He's like trying to, actually it's gonna be my replies. But the idea that it's just, she was doing her job. Oh my God, this happened such a long time ago. It's sad. But they're saying it's misleading because she had her hands up, but she was actually directing traffic away from the terror attack. Guess I can't find the video. What data did it occur on? Here we go. Oh, it's the police commissioner saying they were actually doing what we wanted.
Female police officer with her hands up, and that has been wrongly presented as someone surrendering.
I can't even play this. Can't play the video. What's over there?
Attended that scene with her partner in a motor vehicle. They were fired upon as they attended. There are bullet holes in the front windscreen of the vehicle that she attended, and she thought she was going to die at that location.
Sad to say, that's why you become a copper, because you want that moment. It's not like nobody forced them to become a police officer, because you get paid an extra amount of money to take on that level of danger. Sad to say, but that's part of the gig. There's too many people that want to become a cop because they want the connotation of, oh, I stand up for freedom and I stand up for not freedom. I stand up for law and order. I'm here to protect my community. I want that label. But when it comes up to facing danger and standing up for my community to protect them, I'm actually not willing to go through with it. Like that's very, very telling that it's like, oh, she was in danger, so that's why she wasn't in it.
To her ultimate credit and to the greatest respect of myself as her commissioner, she continued to perform her duty. Her hands were up in the air at that stage as she was giving an indication to members of the public to continue moving.
She was directing traffic, saying, get away from the active incident. That's not what you gave her a gun for. Like, I was wondering, are they unarmed cops? Are they like the Bobbies over in the UK? If she's an unarmed officer, I could somewhat understand, like, hey, duck and cover. She's basically a crossing guard at that point in time. But no, she has a Glock 19 on her. She should be engaging with them because nobody else in Australia does. You say, give up your weapons because we're going to protect you. You did not give her a gun. You not have her sworn in as a peace officer to say, I'm going to direct traffic if there's a mass incident. If people are trying to fight them unarmed, this is ridiculous. But the commissioner's saying, I'm clearing up that photo. I'm proud of what she did. It's disgusting because now you know for certain in Australia, you are the softest of all soft targets.
Because she was trying to prevent further harm. That type of misinformation, that type of taking situations out of context is incredibly harmful. She's exactly the type of officer we need in this police force.
That's it. This is exactly the type of officer we want on the police force. Someone that will allow you to be slaughtered. It is the most disgusting thing ever for this commissioner to say, you know what? People are attacking DEI. You know, a lot of people lost their life. But instead of saying, hey, the guys that did it, they're bad, and also cowardly cops that aren't actually running towards the firefights and engaging with them, immediately terminated, and anybody that's like this needs to be off my police force. If he's congratulating her, giving her a medal, saying, "Oh, you directed traffic, so good thing we gave you that gun and disarmed all the populace." Sheer absurdity.
And my concern is that type of misinformation and misrepresentation.
Misrepresentation? No. This wasn't misrepresented. Everybody criticized her for having her hands up. You didn't say she had her hands up because she was like waving for the guy to shoot at her while they like flanked her or something. No, you just confirmed what everybody already thought.
Will tend to lead officers to leave the police force because they don't feel supported. There is a photo of a
You
young
don't feel
female
support.
police
Like,
officer.
it's
with
crazy
their
how it's somehow she's the victim. It's the most bizarre thing that's happening over there. But again, it's about using this tragedy as a way to take away your rights. Because over here, it's like the Australians versus the agenda. They're saying the Victorian premier, I thought it was Jacinta Ardern. Ardern's the old prime minister, right, during COVID. I think she stepped down. But now they're going to use this moment to go after your free speech. You can no longer be anonymous online.
Under Victoria's civil anti-vilification scheme, which starts in 2026, the speaker of a vilifying statement generally needs to be identifiable to be held to be held accountable. We recognise that this could protect cowards who hide behind anonymous profiles to spread hate.
To spread hate? Well, what do you guys call hate? If I said, hey, I don't like the group of people that just shot at me at the area, at the beach. Or you mean the entire people, or just a group of people, those guys that were actually firing upon us? If you think me criticizing the guys, the actual individual people, those two guys that were actually firing on us, is hate, then they're just using this to crush all dissenting opinions. It's nuts.
Stoke fear. That's why Victoria will spearhead new laws to hold social media companies and anonymous users to account.
And that's what it is. It's they don't have to enforce the law themselves. I think somewhere, was it California? They said they're just going to fine the social media platform if there's hate speech on it per infraction. If Facebook allows me to say something horrendous online, if they don't immediately ban and delete me, they're going to fine them $19,000 or something insane per infraction. So it forces these tech companies to just go full censorship mode on anything. It's like that's how they control it. Yeah. Asking questions is hate speech in Australia. It's sad.
Will appoint a respected jurist to unlock the legislative path forward. Under Victoria's civil...
Yeah, they're going to use this to strip away your rights. Not necessarily because there's a solution to what happened over there. We know the cops aren't going to protect you. We know that you're basically on your own now. Like, in Australia, not only are the female coppers going to say, okay, you know what? I know you're getting fired upon. I'm going to go ahead and direct traffic from the safety of over here. This gun I'm wearing is useless. So, just let this happen. You're on your own. You're a sitting duck over there, but the commissioner isn't going to chastise their do-nothing cops. They're just going to say, you know what, this is the exact type of officer we want. So when the commissioner says this is the exact type of officer we want, he's going to hire more DEI, cowardly cops that will do nothing for you and your family when you're under fire. You're beyond screwed over there, because if there's an incident of 7 guys driving down 9 hours to do who knows what, they're just going to release them because you know what? We don't want to be seen. We don't want to be perceived as evil people. Yeah, it is. It's getting bad. They're lying. 100% they're lying. Yeah. Yeah, thank you for all voting MAGA, because that would have very easily been us in America as well. Oh yeah, the DEI hires are working out quite brilliantly. So let's go ahead and get more of them in here. So wait, okay, you're saying you were getting ads on YouTube? You guys should not be getting ads on YouTube whatsoever. Let me double check this, because I don't have automatic ads on right now on my YouTube. I know on Twitch it has it, because that's just kind of built into it. But on YouTube, it should not be crashed. What? That's wild if you're getting ads on YouTube. Let's see. Monetization is on, but Yeah, mid-roll ads should be manual, so you shouldn't not have seen any ads whatsoever. That is bizarre because I'm not getting paid out for those ads on YouTube. I don't have them. YouTube Premium, no. Not even with an ad blocker. Yeah, no ads on YouTube. I'm not running any of them. In all honesty, what I should be doing is, I think that's how those guys like last so long on their live stream, is I should talk for a long time, do my thing, and then say, okay, cool, I'm going to take a break. I'll be back in like, I'll be back in a minute. While we're in the holding screen, we're going to run an ad. I'm obviously not doing that right now, but it's like, I feel like that's how like live streamers can go as long as they have. Because what are we, like an hour and a half right now? Yeah. You should only get them when you start on YouTube. You shouldn't even get them when the start happens, I don't think. Maybe only when, before it's going live. I think that's it. No, yeah, I think, what is it? Yeah, so on YouTube, we got 1,500. On Twitch, we have 120. On Kick, we have 50. So we got, like, decent numbers for my live stream everywhere. Yeah, you should be wanting a Mexican Coke. I think that after Trump got rid of the high fructose corn syrup, all Cokes in America should be like Mexican Coke soon. But this is just my treat when we live stream. That was weird. Yes, this is Mexican Coca-Cola. Only made Mexican cherry Coca-Cola, but I think the cherry flavoring is probably high fructose corn syrup. Yeah, the glass bottle of Coke is probably better for us because plastic is just in everything and everywhere. It's sad, yeah. I don't know what the Rumble numbers are. Like, it never shows me. It's just not compatible restream with that. And the sad part is James says it's in your bowls. It sounds like a meme, but honestly, I believe it. Like, it lasts in your body for a long time. So that is not okay. What is it? My generation has microplastics. My parents' generation has lead, and then the kids' generation is probably going to be probably mRNA. Who knows what it is? Yeah, 50 over there. I'm not really big on any platform. I feel like YouTube and Twitch are the places because that's where you're gonna get the new audience. That's where the people are, and that's who I feel like Twitch is where I want to get the most people because that's gonna be like disaffected liberals the most part of it. Like, I'm not the most extreme person out there. I'll kind of call it down the center. I think I even saw people like criticizing me on Rumble. Oh, you're too liberal or whatever. Like, it's like, no, I'm a regular guy. Like, I feel like if you went to a 24-hour fitness, like a basketball court, you'd probably have more people like me talking about politics, kind of just being moderate. Both political sides suck than most of the internet personalities trying to grift hard left or hard right. It's more regular people, I think. So I think I'd probably be more effective speaking to somebody that used to listen to Hassan. They used to listen to I don't even know, somebody far right, but more people could just kind of would like this type of content, because right now we're talking about stuff like this where Border Patrol, this is from Reuters, Border Patrol slams through this guy's window because they said, hey, you're under arrest. And he's like, no, I'm not opening my door. They smack, like, we want more of this stuff right now, right? But I'm kind of getting sick and tired of all the moments of ICE is laying down the law. They found this many people. This as many the deportations. Alligator Alcatraz. But when it comes to execution, it kind of seems like nothing's really going down the way it should. Like they say, MarylandMatters.org. ICE threatens to deport Kilmore Abrego Garcia to Uganda. I thought he was getting deported to his home country in South America, but then they said Costa Rica, but then he was getting sent to Uganda, and then it was some smaller country in Africa. I thought he had been gone, but apparently he's still in America. Some judge is granting him a stay essentially, and now the liberals are cheering him on. He's getting Aurora's applause for being in MS-13 for allegedly trafficking humans. Like, how did he become the left's hero? We saw this bizarre thing happen with George Floyd, but now it's like, hey, this guy has a DV charge. This guy has been seen on body cam likely trafficking people, but for whatever reason, I believe it was a state trooper, had to let him go. Like, he's not a hero. He's not a good guy. And here we have the left cheering him on. Oh my God, he's getting a Justin Bieber welcoming because actually he's a criminal. Multiple people shouting they love him. They would not want him to be their neighbor. They would not want them to be their husband because of the things that he's done allegedly to his wife. They would not be one of the people that hired him to transport them around the country. And yet, because their Trump derangement syndrome is so deep, they're like, we love you. Your boos mean nothing. I've seen what makes you cheer. Thunderous applause. This wasn't just one guy saying, "Oh, good job, dude." It's all of them. Absolutely outrageous. Because here's the is this his attorney? His attorney saying, "Oh yeah, here he is. He's walking out of court in Maryland."
So the government gave the district judge gave the government until the 26th of December.
And look at this one. I stand with Kilmore. What's the other one saying?
That is to say Friday, to actually answer the question. What is your plan for Mr. Abrego Garcia?
Should be to deport him. Deport him to Uganda. Period. What's the question?
Are you planning to rearrest him? If so, why? We'll then have the opportunity.
Is he here illegally? That's the only answer. That's the only question. If he's here illegally, that's why you're arresting him. Again, they keep on saying this isn't a crime, it's stolen land. It's like, no.
Opportunity to respond to that, and then based on that, the judge will decide whether to convert her temporary order prohibiting his rearrest into a permanent order, or whether to dissolve it. So as of right now, Mr. Abrego Garcia is going to return to his home with his wife and his children and his family members in Maryland, and he will be at home through Christmas and New Year.
We are all Kilmore. That's what it says over there. Oh, he's going to be home for the holidays. What a good win. It's like, they are so Trump derangement syndromed out, where it's like anything that Trump wants, we got to root for the opposite. So if this guy had been harming his wife, if this guy had been trafficking people, if this guy is a part of a dangerous gang, is the reason he had claimed asylum here, because they were going to, rival gangs were going to harm him back home. That makes him their hero. They have zero values other than whatever Trump wants. We want the opposite. Because he saw this over here. Caleb Hammer, financial audit guy. He's just basically trolling the left now because all he has is just common sense thoughts about law and order. Common sense thoughts about what you should be, how you should be financially responsible. And now the left, they despise him because he made a thumbnail saying, illegal immigrant exploiting the system, financial audit. So he interviewed a girl. She's an illegal immigrant and she's exploiting the system. And then the left is now going haywire on him saying, oh my God, they called him out for being creepy because I think they think he's heavy, whatever. Or he had whatever preferences about women. Doesn't matter. He's a regular guy. Now they say, they called him out for being creepy and now he's literally Hitler. And the funny thing is, he said, our trap worked. I always knew performative snarkers only wanted to harm me, but never actually watched the content they criticized baselessly. So we rage baited the video to test it, and it worked. The funny thing is, this lady is an illegal immigrant of the country of Mexico. She's an American citizen who was born here and sometimes lives illegally in Mexico. I'm helping send her back to the country she wants to immigrate to be with her wife. I'm actually helping her accomplish her goals, and they fell for it. Perfection. Now we know how these losers are, where it's they don't dislike the situation. They just know so little about the situation. They know anything that could seem like conservatism is bad. So let's use this to attack Caleb. Let's use this to attack to attack Trump. And everybody else that's on the opposite side of it, we don't care if he's a literal gang member that's harmed his significant other, that's been trafficking human beings. If it's the opposite of Trump, we're going to cheer it on. They're going to say that they love him, or we all love Kilmore. We stand with Kilmore. Or, oh, he wants to send an illegal back. It's like, no, this is an illegal staying in Mexico. Yeah. These people have all these thoughts about no borders or on stolen land, but they know nothing about how much the Mexican citizens despise the Americans leaving there temporarily. Like ever since the COVID happened, where you have the laptop class. They make a lot of money. They can work remotely, so they'd much rather go to Mexico, get cheaper healthcare, more liberal healthcare in the sense of liberal, where the doctors can kind of have a lot more latitude as to what they can prescribe you and what they can do for you. They'd rather live in Mexico. It's a cheaper cost of living. The locals hate those Americans because they increase the cost of living for them. Introducing a foreign aspect into your community is always going to make things kind of wonky. It's going to mess up the economy. It works both ways, but somehow only one type of immigration, illegal immigration, is permissible, not the other. And now he's showing up a mirror to them saying, you don't actually have virtues, you don't have values. You're just trying to say I'm bad because you decided I'm on the opposite side of the political spectrum. They're straight up showing like, hey, the Democrats are saying Trump has no authority to categorize fentanyl as a weapon of mass destruction. And Bad Hombre's like, the Trump derangement syndrome is so deep, Trump's got them defending fentanyl now. And that's how it is. It's like, they don't know what they're representing. They don't know who they're standing for. They're championing Kilmore Abrego Garcia. They championed George Floyd. They championed, oh man, who was the guy? They said, hey, he's a black man. He called the police to stop a fight between two women, and they shot him in the back. Kamala Harris gets out there, visits him in the hospital, says, I'm proud of you. And then later on, they found out, oh no, that guy's the ex-boyfriend. He digitally R'd his ex-girlfriend and then tried to kidnap the kids. Jacob Blake puts the kids in the backseat of the car and reaches for a knife in the car. The cop tries to tackle him. I think he slams a cop, and that's why they shoot him in the back. But for some reason, just because he's a black guy that got shot by the police, they made him a hero. Kamala Harris visited him in the hospital to say, I'm proud of you, even though he just digitally R'd his ex-girlfriend and tried to kidnap her kids. That's how far this Trump derangement syndrome's gone. They're saying, oh, gotta protect fentanyl, guys. Trump says fentanyl's bad. Stop. Have you thought about the poor farmers that are not farmers, fishermen that are being contracted to send this into America? It's like sheer ridiculousness. But that's how far it's gotten. It's like, why am I still talking about Kamala Harris? Because that's the Democrat Party still right now. Protect Kilmore, champion Jacob Blake, champion fentanyl. That's how bad it is. But yeah, it keeps on getting worse with deportations. Remember the guy that was in Washington that caused a deadly crash? Illegal immigrant, somehow got a CDL to drive a large semi truck. They're letting him out.
Truck driver from India has been released from custody after being accused of causing a deadly chain reaction crash earlier this month in Washington state. He spent just 1 day in jail before posting $100,000 in bond. But when police didn't follow up with a case for prosecutors to present in court, that bond was returned. The suspect entered the U.S. illegally under the Biden administration and obtained a commercial driver's license in California.
Governor Gavin Newsom's policies are killing Americans, and I'm glad they took away his right to issue CDLs. This was getting out of hand. It needed to be addressed, and Newsom was never going to do it.
DHS Secretary Kristi Noem will join us next hour. Truck driver.
Yeah, released on bond. Now he's out there free. He wasn't immediately deported, and they didn't also investigate the place that gave him the CDL. Top to bottom failures. And now, not only are like, okay, yeah, they're letting him go even though they know he's a criminal on multiple levels, but also they have the audacity to go on news networks and demand, yes, we know we're breaking the law. Yes, we know that we don't respect any of your customs, and your we're not doing this legally. We demand you let us do it.
It's annoying, and you know, you gotta walk the.
Oh wait, they put a little hissing. There's a little hissing sound in the parking lot of a Home Depot.
Annoying, and you know, you gotta walk away, or always use your earplugs. Otherwise, you get headaches.
Jose de la Torre is one of many day laborers irritated by the high-pitched, continuous beep, but the earplugs he bought soon after the machines were installed last month can only block out so much.
So last month, Home Depot made it clear, we don't want you here. We don't want ICE raids in our parking lots. It's bringing in protesters. It's bringing in federal law enforcement. Like, we just don't want cops around all the time. They made it loud and clear. We don't want you. And loud and clear, both metaphorically and literally. And yet they're like, no, how dare you try to stop my illegal activity? Obviously, I'm not working legally. I'm getting paid under the table. I'm not paying taxes on this labor. I'm here. But they have the audacity to go on television and say, how dare they stop me from my illegal activity? Like, this is an insane level of entitlement.
What's the purpose? I guess
what's the
I
purpose?
don't like the laborers here.
That's what immigrant rights activists claim is the real reason behind these anti-loitering machines they believe are meant to scare off workers.
We're obviously concerned about the health and safety of our worker members who use the day labor center on a daily basis, our staff, but also community members and customers.
Megan Ortiz.
It's insane the left will have all these things about unionization, fair wages, and making sure like corporations pay their fair share, whatever it may be. These day laborers aren't getting a living wage. These day laborers have no health care insurance, but they're fighting tooth and nail to make certain that you can have someone that's going to pay these people off the books underneath the market value, take jobs away from union workers, Americans, the working poor. Bending over backwards to say, you know what, we found a new pet project. No longer do we demand they pay their fair share. No longer do we care that they're giving them a safe working environment. Now we're taking on Home Depot. Absolutely zero virtues, just randomly taking upon causes that they know little about. Because I can almost guarantee this girl right here has never had a construction company, has never accomplished a task or contracted anything that would require this amount of work. She would not know how to put together, maybe she could surprise me, but she would not know how to put together a project to complete something in the construction universe. And yet she's sitting back here saying Home Depot needs to allow this to happen because I deem it so.
Runs the Institute of Popular Education of Southern California, a day laborer advocacy group. They have a day labor resource center right on the lot.
So as far as we're concerned, this is an attempt to harass day laborers to get.
All they have to do is go somewhere that they are welcome. Home Depot doesn't want them there. Why are they entitled to your parking lot to loiter there if they're not there to shop? Home Depot is a fucking store. They're there to sell hardware supplies. They're there to serve the community. If they're not there to purchase anything, why are they entitled to try to find work in their parking lot? It's sheer absurdity how entitled they are to this.
Rid of them, and we're just really concerned given the fact that we have asked Home Depot numerous times about their collusion.
Their collusion. So first, Home Depot needs to make certain that ICE isn't there. Home Depot needs to be a safe haven. They literally think Home Depot needs to take on the federal government. Not only do you need to deny the federal law enforcement from making arrests on your property, which they don't have the right to, they also demand that Home Depot give a safe haven for these individuals. She has no idea how the universe works, and yet she got on television.
If any, with immigration enforcement.
It's insane. This is where they are right now. But it's crazy how they want you to think we're against all immigration, oh, we're racist, oh, Decoy, the Asian guy, not from America, is against immigration. It's like, no. I just question why people that are like, oh, they don't want me here. They don't want me here. I'm just trying to pick up jobs at Home Depot. Now I'm using earplugs to stay here. Why do you want to be at that Home Depot anyway? Why, if you're such a contribution to their economy, why do you demand they cater to you? Just like this that's happening over in Poland, where these people are trying to get into Poland, being pushed out, and they wonder,
we want to go Poland.
We want to go to
Tell
Poland.
them. They don't let us. They said
If I go to Poland, they will hit me or they will kill me. Really? I'm going to Poland.
They don't want you there. You know it's dangerous for you there. Why would you still demand to be there? That's the same thing about me in like restaurants where someone says, oh my God, I can't believe how racist this restaurant is towards blank people. Whenever we go there, they treat blank people badly. It's like, okay, cool. Why would I demand to keep this business afloat in this economy if they despise me as a people? Stop going to places that despise you, but it's the entitlement. I want to go to Poland. I want their social services. They might harm me, but I need to be in there. They're using a loudspeaker. They installed this very expensive thing that might even violate local ordinances, but Home Depot is so out of fucks they don't care. They installed it anyway. I deserve to be here. I deserve to be here. You're the exact type of person we don't want you in our community if you don't expect our values or our virtues on the arrival or as you're trying to come in here. And it's not just Poland and it's not just America. Like you see this over in Japan. Apparently this guy is very mad that Japan rejected his visa application. And here's the thing. Getting all upset about them. This is just solidifying the idea we don't want you here. You're getting all angry. You're not respecting our laws. You are not going to be a net positive. And the thing is just because I say this guy, I don't want him in my country, even though he's trying to get in Poland, I don't like this entitlement. I don't think he's compatible with our values if he's not willing to go through the regular legal process to become a citizen. Same thing here. You don't respect authorities. We don't want you here. Doesn't mean we don't want you to be like a citizen. Like I just saw this video. It's almost not even applicable, but it's like we do want immigrants here. Diversity is good, but only if they want to assimilate. Like you see this video right here, it's random, but it's this woman coming from Japan to America, but doing everything she can to assimilate. Trying to sing this song for Otani, or American song. It's written phonetically in Japanese so she can sing along. There's that. There's over in Japan. White people going to their country saying, what can we do to assimilate to their culture, learning the language? It should be like the bare minimum. I'm sure if you're a Japanese person, you want a bunch of people like this.
彼氏みたいだけど。あ、イケメンだ。ちょっと。こんにちは。こちらの方がすごいイケメン。でしょ。でしょってもう出ちゃってるんだよ。本当好きが。石なんですけど。石？プレゼント？そう。私はペングイン大好きなんです。
Saying she like I'm like a penguin. I brought him a stone because this is like, you know, he's my person.
綺麗な石あげます。
But here's the thing. Okay. But immigration, assimilation. Everybody wants this. This is a problem. But somehow the left wants to paint you as this big spooky racist. You don't think Kilmore Obrego Garcia should be in the country despite his criminal history. No, immigration's fine. I'm an immigrant. I'm assimilating. This is all okay, but it's just crazy how they want you to think you're a bad person to say, I don't want this in my country.
Is having a dog haram, impermissible, forbidden? The answer to that is it depends why you have the dog. Islamically, it's allowed to have the dog for certain reasons, such as farming or herding. But if you just have the dog because you like dogs and for no reason, then it's not allowed. Is having a dog
completely incompatible with Western culture. You cannot have a pet because it's against our religion. It's already happening in certain places in the world, but it's nuts that the liberal left, with all their progressive ideologies about, you know, LGBTQ, women's rights, are just welcoming with open arms a religion that is fundamentally incompatible with all their beliefs. And they're not the type of conservatives, because these are very staunchly religiously conservative people that will bend over backwards like Mitch McConnell, George Bush. I can't even list too many. Like who's that? Who was the guy that chat? Who was the guy? He seemed like he had such good promise, but he's going against Trump so much. He's voting against Trump all the time. Not Matt Walsh. He's in Congress. He has a beard now. He didn't used to have a beard, but now he has a beard. He's becoming one of the most ineffective conservatives ever. Like, I honestly consider him Democrat light. But what's his name? Thomas Massie. Thank you, Arrow. These aren't the conservatives that will bend over backwards to cater to their liberal values because they don't want to be called a racist. These are these religious extremists that will stomp out all your beliefs in your pride parades, all your beliefs in letting women vote and drive. They're going to make this go backwards in all your progressive movements by centuries, and yet they're sitting there saying, we love you, bring you in more, like, bring more of you in. How dare Trump say, if you want to come to America, you need to pledge your allegiance to American values. You should learn English. There is a national language. They keep on complaining about that, not knowing that they're literally bringing on the extinction of their own entirety, and it's crazy. Yeah, Massie can make sense, but honestly, has he accomplished anything? Is my point here. Marjorie Taylor Greene is a great example, yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. None of the Republicans have accomplished anything. Useless politicians, and that's the problem. Is everybody's like, "Oh my God, decoy or decoy voice." On Reddit, they'll say he's this staunch alt-right conservative, blah blah. And I'm like, there's really no Republican I've endorsed on this channel besides Donald Trump. I thought he was an America First politician. I'm now an American only. I categorize myself not America First, Americans only. But the idea that Trump has been the only one that I say, okay, he's my guy. Like, I want him more than the alternative. JD Vance will probably be the only other person I'll say, hey, that's my person. Like, I want JD Vance to be the next president. But, you know, a lot can happen between now and 2028, but I'm hopeful. Yeah, Tom Homan, RFK Jr. RFK Jr., the liberal. I like what he's doing. He's a Democrat. I like what RFK is doing. I had no faith in Dr. Oz being who he became, but honestly, I think Dr. Oz has been doing a fairly good job. I thought when Dr. Oz ran against, who's that ginormous person that always wears hoodies? John Fetterman, John Fetterwoman, as he's called himself. I thought he was going to be worse than Fetterman because he's just going to be a regular rhino in office, but honestly, I think Dr. Oz has been a pleasant surprise. Yeah, RFK not to be trusted outside the Food and Drug Administration. I think he'd be terrible for energy. I think he'd be terrible for carbon emissions and all this stuff. I think that he should be in charge of health. I like him where he's at. It's like, you know, it's a silly analogy, but it's like, yeah, I trust a lot of guys to play tight end that I wouldn't want my quarterback, and RFK plays tight end really well. John Fetterman's the only moderate Democrat left after his stroke, which is wild. Like, you know, I haven't been the most spiritual person, but I really wonder how much did him almost meeting his maker, having a stroke, having all the health complications, coming back insanely based. Did that scramble his brain and make him more dialed into not identity politics and being progressive liberal, all the labels, just being common sense? Because he does speak common sense now. Factory reset, a fucked up way of putting it, but kind of accurate. Well, his party's definitely not going to endorse him for re-election, but honestly, like Biden, I don't think he would have it in his life to run for re-election. He deserves retirement. He deserves a rest. I think his wife, like Jill Biden, is behind the whole political aspirations. He already had a stroke. Like, when he was having interviews, he couldn't even have conversations without having automatic generated subtitles in front of him. If we can't have a conversation, you can't govern. Yeah, Fetterman didn't realize how far gone the left had gone. I think Fetterman, after almost meeting his maker, said, F the narrative, F the group, this is for my values, you know? Yeah, Biden had the brain aneurysm and he was never the same. Hey, Fetterman has been pretty based. All the politicians I think are dirty, but he's, sad to say, the best we got. Like Trump and the Epstein files. Good God, you never. I guess you could have guessed he was going to disappoint this badly, because he has disappointed horrendously. But the thing is, always during his first administration, I would always say during the election, I'm voting for Trump, but I remember when he had the chance to pardon, who were the guys? Who's the guy? There's a movie about him. Joseph Gordon-Levitt plays him. How come I can remember the actor's name, but not the guy he played? But he could have pardoned a lot of people that deserved to be pardoned. But instead he pardoned criminal Democrats, rappers. Like, Trump wasn't the angel that, you know, some diehard MAGA supporters like or see him as. Like, when he got in office, he banned lobbying from Congress, but on his way out, he unbanned lobbying from Congress. Like, he's done a lot of bad things. Again, if I could vote for him a third term, 1,000,000% I vote for him 1,000,000 times out of 1,000,000. I think he's the best president I've had in my lifetime. But he does have his flaws. Yeah, Edward and Julian. Bondi's messing up bad. It's crazy to think that everybody, like, this all-star cast of podcasters getting cabinet positions and everything. It's like, and they change when they get in office. It's like, it's one thing to make, not clickbait, it's one thing to make interesting narratives and have discussions about stuff. It's another thing to run a federal agency. And I think a lot of people didn't realize that they weren't going to be the exact same character they are to sell podcast clicks than they are in a federal agency. That's just a reality things. Yeah, Bongino's stepping down because I think that he, again, I'm no expert. I think he's stepping down because he realizes he can't do, like, agencies are still going to be agencies, man. It's crazy. Yeah, Bongino's done. And you know, okay, who's the DHS board of czar? Tom Homan saying he hasn't lived with his family forever. I think both Homan and Bongino saying that to be separate from their family because it's so much work. And it's like, yeah, you know what? Like, they deserve their peace. If they want to step down, by all means, they should. Yeah, it's insane to me that Gates had stepped down from his position. Like, he already resigned, not having been confirmed yet. And now I don't even know what he's doing now. Like, what's going on here? All right, hold on. All right. So, in other not celebrity related news, but it's like Nicki Minaj, surprisingly based, she went to AmFest, America Fest, with Turning Point USA. This narrative's wild. Super bass. I guess I can't even play this music, but it's like cheers, fireworks, Nicki Minaj at AmFest, being incredibly based, coming out with Erica Kirk. This is a pretty amazing timeline because, like I said, when I covered Nicki Minaj talking about the vaccine and how the entire corporate media came against her, she was even angry that CNN marched out their one black anchor. I forgot what her name was, but Nicki Minaj was very upset about that. And I talked about Kyrie Irving because I was a Boston Celtics fan, but when he was on the Brooklyn Nets, his issues with the vaccine, how since he didn't get the vaccine, he was allowed to travel with the team, practice with the team in New York City, but he could not play on the floor of the Barclays Center. He could buy a ticket, be courtside, not wear a mask because he didn't have the vaccine. He couldn't play the game with the same guys he just worked out with a half an hour before. Big red pill moment for basketball fans of Kyrie Irving. Big red pill moment for rap fans of Nicki Minaj. Like, this is a great moment for America. Not conservatism, but just for restoring common sense.
You guys, this is a major, to be so young, for you guys that are in college, to be so young and to care this much, this early in your life.
And that's what Charlie Kirk was doing. He was getting young people involved in politics. He was getting young people to reject the mainstream narrative of all the people lying to them their entire lives and genuinely get into a counterculture. Because remember, when I was millennials, when we were younger, Rage Against the Machine was against the corporate, the war machine, the military industrial complex. Now Rage Against the Machine is like, hey, rage for the machine. Biden, let him monitor us and give us digital ID. Let Biden, start new wars overseas. Like it's becoming completely opposite. So yes, now once again, it's been for Gen Z, it's trendy to buck against the system, which this time around is conservatism.
Tells us how smart you are, and it tells us that there's hope for our future. So God bless you. Congratulations, you guys. You're amazing. Congratulations, you guys are amazing.
I thought MAGA conservatives were racist. Why are they all standing and cheering for a black woman? Interesting how things have changed. Yeah, no one will be Charlie Kirk, full stop. No one ever can. We've realized that very quickly. Charlie Kirk being assassinated is the end of Turning Point USA. Just like oh my god, who is it with the I'm losing it. It's where the news organization. Oh, James O'Keefe. James O'Keefe leaving Project Veritas. Project Veritas is not Project Veritas anymore. Like, these are stars, not organizations people follow.
Okay, know it, feel it. Yes, yes. Proudly. Be it proudly. Be who you are proudly.
So yeah, she's talking about she loves Gen Z so much, but it's crazy how first it was the vaccine and now it's about Christians in Nigeria. Because here's the thing is, the left shouts about genocide all the time. There is genuinely a persecution of Christians in Nigeria. I've known Nigerian people. It's been a huge issue. Like, how many Nigerians that are in America that like they get stereotypically become surgeons, but how many Nigerians, maybe you don't know a lot, but have Christian names? Michael. It's crazy how big of a thing it is, but the left doesn't want to talk about that genocide. And now that the Trump administration is taking it on, saying, hey, I think they're going to sanction it, or is that a different country nearby? But it's like, they're doing terrible things in their country. We need to stand up for Christians. And Nicki Minaj isn't afraid of being called an alt-right grifter or a racist somehow because she finds it more valuable to protect the Christians in Nigeria than it is to protect her standing amongst Democrat by default types.
We won't be silenced ever again. We will speak up for Christians wherever they are in this world. Amen.
Amen.
And people love it. None of these conservatives are saying, yeah, we like Christians, but African Christians? No, they just want Christians to be safe. They're just about protecting people regardless of race. This is not how the left wants to portray this, because yes, it's been a big issue for a long time. They have been being persecuted over there by the same religion that is doing it in Europe, in Australia. But yes, they're begging for assistance.
Come and save Nigeria. We are facing a lot in this country. The terrorism, the Boko Haram, they are killing our brothers and sisters.
It's happening everywhere, and they don't want to address it. But the thing over here is, she's willing to just buck against the mainstream narrative where they say, okay, hey, you're getting backlash, and she just doesn't care.
I know that you are getting a lot of backlash from your own industry. What is your reaction to that?
I didn't notice.
Amen. I feel the same way.
And that's why I kind of feel like the internet isn't real. Reddit would make you think Nicki Minaj is over because she's embraced Donald Trump. She retweets it. Or there's so many people out there, like the majority of America is liberal. But it's like, I don't know, with all this mass mail-in voting, like how many millions of voters disappeared between Biden's first run for election? Biden's run for president and Kamala's run for president, because Trump's support through 2016, 2020, and 2024, it's just been kind of on a steady increase. But then when Hillary lost, when Biden won, and then when Kamala lost, it was almost like, they say 20 million, 20, 30, like 20 million people didn't show up to vote because it wasn't COVID years where they had all massive mail-in ballots. Like, I'm not confirming fraud happened, but I'm just saying Trump supporters remain consistent. It's been going up, but possibly the support for Biden wasn't real. Just saying possibly, just throwing it out there. The idea that she all of a sudden spoke up, she bucked against the mainstream narrative, and all of a sudden she didn't fall out of relevancy, makes me think all the people calling her out don't exist.
When people are like, what do you think about them? I'm like, I don't think about them.
Bingo. We don't even think about them.
We don't have time to. We're too busy building, right?
Yeah, we're the cool kids.
Okay.
The other people, they're the ones who are still just disgruntled, but really they're just disgruntled with themselves.
Well, here's the thing is, before it used to be cool to be counterculture. Oh, Eminem would say F Bush. It was like 50 Cent, I believe, was a Democrat before, but now he's very conservative. The idea, it used to be cool to be a Democrat, but now it's like, if you're a Democrat now, that's putting your values in line with Kamala Harris, Amazon.com, every single mainstream news outlet, like all these, every outlet that has DEI on the front page is jamming this down your throat. Netflix, all the millennial-run industries are saying, oh, it's cool to be very, very progressive and liberal, but it's like, no, it's not. It's never been cool to be echoing your parent. Me having boomer parents be like, oh my God, like, you hippies, that's nonsense, whatever. Like, it always, the pendulum always swings back and forth. And now she's saying, it's not cool to be like you guys. Like, where's the, I need to find that clip right now. Here it is. The New York Magazine. This image right here. Actually, I'm gonna close that. Remember when they had this image, the Cruel Kids table, where they had all these beautiful people at some conservative convention, post-MAGA Trump supporters? You have this right here. And then you have, I mean, like, any Portland protest. So you have two different, oh, see, I can't even play this. Nudity on this. That nudity? Yeah. So you can be a part of the modern day left, protesting with all their different identities and their colorful outfits and their BMI, or you can be a part of what is modern day conservatism, which is like, what do they say? On average, conservatives are just more attractive than liberals. There's a bunch of science in it, but it's like young people see this and they see this. No matter how much Netflix programming, boomers and millennials teaching your college courses is going to make you think this is a better alternative than this. Has nothing to do with race. I think it was funny, like when they the Cruel Kids table, they oh yeah, there's such like MAGA white supremacists, right? And they said there's no blacks. It's like they just cropped out on this image the blacks that were at this event. No, people just want to be a part of this. They're rejecting it. They're no longer the cool kids table. They're upset with themselves, and that's like, you know, old school Jordan Peterson. Not whatever he's been getting into more recently. I know he's sick, but I'm talking about like Daily Wire Jordan Peterson, when he used to say, "Hey, you can't tell anybody how to live their lives if you can't even maintain your own life. Like your room's dirty, or your life isn't in order. Like you're a not college dropout. You're a you don't have the career you want. You didn't get the relationship you want. Your relationship with your family is bad. Like all your life is in disarray. You're on all sorts of substances. You're self-medicating, and yet you're gonna come out to some protest politically and try to tell us how we need to fix our lives." This is not the system. And it's like she's saying, oh, they're upset with the way their lives are, so they want to coach us. It's like, what is it? The adage that liberal, like, you know, the reason liberal white woman or just college educated liberals, liberal woman, they want to start to take in all these programs for refugees or for criminals and stuff. It's like because they didn't have children of their own, they want to baby the rest of society. And it's like it's a bad way to go about things.
They are angry with themselves, you guys. So you can't wake up and think about somebody who is determined to just stay mad. I literally tell them, stay mad.
Yeah.
Stay mad.
Because you're never going to satisfy them. Like that's the thing is like you even have a couple people in chat or whatever, or especially early on saying Decoy needs to do this or Decoy, you're too soft on that. It's like no, all I can be is me and have my values because of the way I was raised, the way that I experienced life, where I lived in different parts of the city, how I saw liberalism destroy parts of society. All I can do is see things through the lens of myself. If I don't have the extreme values and ideas as some of these angry chatters, what am I going to do? Change who I am to try to appease them? It's like, no, fuck you. Stay mad. You don't have to agree with everything I think and say. If me having a different opinion of you because we aren't mirror images of each other, I'm not a spokesperson for your fragile emotions, means that you can't subscribe to me anymore, then stay mad, go somewhere else. I'm never going to appease you. And that's what she's saying. She's being unapologetically her. She wants to stand up for Nigerians. She wants to stand up for Christians. And if it makes her a spooky alt-right conservative to a small portion of her audience and a lot of bots and foreign paid-for commenters on the internet, so be it. Stay mad. She can only be her. And that's like finally people are saying, hey, I just want to be me. That's all I can be.
Because we're going to stay joyful and peaceful and iconic and smart. And we're going to stay thinkers. In a world that doesn't want us to think, we will think.
Yes.
By ourselves, on our own. We will continue to think.
Yeah. A black rapper telling a group of conservatives it's good to think and them cheering and clapping. This is not what the Democrats thought they were going to be. Oh, she's like, they can stay mad, and now she's the #1 trend in the U.S. Nicki Minaj is happy about that. I think her sales went up. I'm honestly, as I'm redoing the background over here, I'm probably going to get a Nicki Minaj vinyl back there, along with a Kyrie Irving something of him back there as well, because even though Kyrie Irving hates the Boston Celtics, he even on a live stream called us cockroaches, but I'll be forever grateful for Kyrie Irving speaking out during the COVID era of him saying, hey, I'm not going to bend the knee and get this vaccine. And like, he foregone millions of dollars in contract worth to stand up for his values. Cause I'm telling you right now, how many of these NFL players, basketball players went out and got fake cards? Willing to bet a large percentage of them did. So it's like, yeah, when Kyrie Irving stood up for his values and lost money, it gave, I think, Jaylen Brown more strength to do the same. Like, I don't agree with him religiously. I don't agree with him sports-wise. He hates the Celtics now. But it's like, no, I same thing with In-N-Out Burger. They stood up for me in what I believed in back in the day, so I'll like try to pay it back to them. But yeah, no, she's being propped up for speaking the truth, just like any sports athlete. That who was one of the first videos I did on a Decoy Voice was the NFL player. He was I think he was an Army reservist. I think he was he on the Pittsburgh Steelers? He was like an offensive lineman. When everybody in the NFL was being woke, they're all taking knees. They're all this is when Colin Kaepernick was putting pigs on his socks. There was one NFL player that when they played the national anthem, he came out there and stood and like, you know, put his hand over his heart because he's a veteran. His jersey was a #1 selling jersey for like however long, just because he covered his heart and said, I respect our flag, I respect our country. The whole narrative that the majority of the country, especially sports watching fans are liberal, I think is nonsense. It's dead internet theory. Someone said, what was it? Why can't you buy a membership on this channel? Because I don't want to have memberships on this channel. If you guys are my members over on Decoy, don't pay twice on both channels. But also, Also, what do you call it? Was it the Steelers? I don't forget. Was it Villanueva? Yeah, left tackle, giant guy. Alejandro Villanueva, I think so, when he put his hand on his heart. Yeah, that was it. Hey, I mean, I appreciate you guys over here from the Roach Ranch supporting the channel right now. I appreciate that. But yeah, no, it's like, I think they deserve our support. Now, the crazy thing is, a lot of this went about against the racist narrative of DEI. At some point in time, it's so bizarre. DEI, diversity, inclusion, just became not help prop up people of color. It just became an anti-white narrative. And now she's correctly identifying it, saying, hey, why do you need to apologize for having blonde hair and blue eyes? Just like Sydney Sweeney. If every single media outlet, music, movies, advertising campaign will shove it down your throat that black is beautiful. And yeah, be proud that you're black and you're beautiful. But you can't say, if Sydney Sweeney says, hey, my jeans are blue and I like my jeans, I have blue eyes, I'm beautiful, blonde hair, blue-eyed woman. If you're going to villainize that, you can't promote the other side of it. And here Nicki Minaj is just, you know, supporting the opposite. Stop being ashamed of being white.
We were not being represented and not being admired for our beauty. If we felt like that as black women, why would we want to do that to other women?
Yeah.
Why would we now need to make other people downplay their beauty so that we can feel, no, that's not how it works.
That's how it works when you're trying to cause division. Like they said during Wall Street, was Occupy Wall Street, when you had people of all races and colors coming together saying, as an Asian man, the person that isn't holding me down isn't the white man. It's these rich bankers that are like destroying society. When they realized you were actually genuinely having a class uprising, regardless of skin color, religion, it was just the poor people saying, hey, why the bankers getting bailouts after causing, you know, what happened in The Big Short, or the financial crash in 2008. When they finally rose up against them, all of a sudden every news outlet started talking about intersectionality, racism, white supremacy. They want you to be divided amongst each other. It's not because the wealthy elites think black is beautiful and white isn't, or they think white is beautiful and black isn't. It's just they want you at war with each other. It's just a big distraction to say, as long as you guys are angry at each other, you're never going to rise up against us. And they're finally starting to catch up to it now. The masses are. Nicki Minaj probably knew this a long time ago, but for her to sit there on Turning Point USA to her millions of Barbies, those are her fans, they're all getting a red pill moment. Just like all these Kyrie Irving fans that were just basketball fans. I like his crossovers. I like his clutch. His clutch factor. Them seeing the mainstream media lies is an important moment.
I don't need someone with blonde hair and blue eyes to downplay their beauty because I know my beauty. Yeah. Do you understand? It doesn't bother me that a woman feels and says that she's beautiful. Amen. Why shouldn't she feel that? Why have we gotten to a point where certain colors or certain kinds of people have to be afraid of loving themselves and loving the way they look? Like, isn't that wild?
And the crazy thing is, though, is it's essentially her saying, you shouldn't be ashamed of being white. You shouldn't have to apologize to love your blonde hair. Like Nicki Minaj has her hair in a very white woman style. Nothing against that. So she's trying to pay it back, saying, okay, stop being ashamed of who you are. And the crazy thing is Vice President J.D. Vance came out and almost echoed that same mentality, reinforcing it. I was like, hey, gone are the days that we are being browbeaten into submission, saying, you know what? You have to be ashamed of being in certain ethnicities because you have to give diversity and inclusion to other ethnicities. So it's no longer good enough to say other races and ethnicities are beautiful as well, because they are. It's now you have to say, denounce your whiteness. And now J.D. Vance and Nicki Minaj are saying, you no longer have to apologize for this.
Unlike the left, we stand against treating anybody, and I love what Nicki said about this. We don't treat anybody different because of their race or their sex. So we have relegated DEI to the dustbin of history, which is exactly where it belongs.
Yes. I like when who was it? Who's the former lieutenant colonel, Fox News analyst, and now he's the in charge of the military. Pete Hegseth. Pete Hegseth says diversity is not our strength. Strength is strength, and I'm like, we need to get back to that. Diversity can't supplement for shortcomings in other parts. Diversity can be good, but it's not by default good.
In the United States of America, you don't have to apologize for being white anymore. And if you're an Asian, you don't have to talk around your skin color when you're applying for college, because we judge people based on who they are, not on ethnicity and things they can't control.
And the craziest part, I remember how insulting it was, and I know Asian people that are Democrat by default, and you guys are fucking regarded. And you know what I'm really saying? They're fucking regarded. When Biden got in office, there was a lawsuit between Asians and the Ivy League saying affirmative action made it more difficult for Asians to get in college. Obviously, I was never a good enough student to get in the Ivy League, but I wouldn't want my own children that are going to look at least half Asian to be in a harder path to get a higher education should they want it because they happen to be Asian. Biden, once he gets in office, immediately blocks that lawsuit. Okay, they can no longer sue the Ivy League. Asians, tough fucking luck. And then what he did during Stop Asian Hate is had the K-pop supergroup BTS. I like BTS, but what the fuck do like 7? I think there's 7. What the fuck? 7 Korean guys, all of which at the time did not speak English, with the exception of one of them. What do they know? South Korean megastars, or have been megastars since they were teenagers, know about what it is to be in San Francisco as an Asian, to be in Los Angeles as a Korean grandmother getting knocked into the pavement. Joe Biden blocked Asian Americans from being able to sue colleges for having racist affirmative action laws, and then instead brings in a K-pop supergroup to talk to them about, Stop Asian Hate. He's talking to 6 guys that they don't know what he's saying. They don't speak English, and he's like, see, I represent the Asian community. It's like, no, you guys are fucking regarded. You have no idea what's going on. Your vote is so easy to get if all they need to do is invite some K-pop group over to say, you know what? We made it harder for you guys to get in college, but pop stars, I hate it.
We don't persecute you for being male, for being straight, for being gay, for being anything. The only thing that we demand is that you be a great American patriot, and if you're that, you're very much on our team.
And that can be any race, ethnicity, sexuality, even gender. Doesn't matter. We just want you to want to contribute to our Western values. How hard is it to say that? But no, the left wants to say this is racist. It's ridiculous. Yeah, and leave the kids alone. How hard is it to have those values? But it's crazy how JD Vance just says, hey, don't apologize for being white anymore. And the new left superstar, the fact that she gets this much coverage alongside AOC just lets you know how doomed the Democrat Party is, because they're going all in on diversity and not on actual merit, intelligence, or even any semblance of standards. Here's Jasmine Crockett talking trash about JD Vance at Turning Point USA.
And that is actually what they are fearful of, is my authenticity, because it rings true.
Your authenticity. You're speaking in a way you've never spoken before. Like, there's all those videos of her speaking like an entirely different person, and now all of a sudden she looks entirely different. New hair, new lashes, new voice, and she's saying authenticity. Fucking idiot.
With every single American, whether they're a Texan or not, it rings true that I am fighting for real everyday people.
Does she represent the average American, or does she represent the average criminal? And I don't mean a race thing. I'm talking about illegals. God, MSNBC or MSN Now is so out of touch.
And instead of talking about policy, when you're talking about the record speaks for itself.
The policies are in there saying, we don't need DEI anymore. We want you to be excellent. I don't care about your race. We want you to be excellent. That's making America great again. That's the policy.
Baby, let's talk about your record, because the only reason you're the vice president is because the current president tried to have his last president killed. Let's talk about qualifications. And that
this reminds me of when they tried to say Pete Hegseth was not qualified to become the in charge of the military because all he was a Fox News analyst. He was a lieutenant colonel before that. But her saying she tried to get the last one ended. She's saying that Trump tried to get Biden dunned. But I think what she meant to say is she's trying to get the Secretary of War. Yes, not Secretary of Defense, Secretary of War. I like the relabeling of it. But she's trying to say because Trump tried to have Pence ended. They're talking. I think she's referencing the 6, where there's a whole bunch of antagonizers there saying the HA, a lot of words in the middle, and then a whole bunch of other words, and then G. Like they were saying that. Totally disavowed, terrible thing that should never be spoken. But the idea that she's trying to say Trump wanted that. Trump said on social media, on Twitter before he got banned, hey, we're the party of law and order. This has become something different. It's time to go home peacefully. Thank you for showing your support. He told them that, said go home. Twitter deleted his account. He got banned on social media. And now they're trying to run with the case of the only reason JD Vance is in office is because Trump turned on Pence. And this is just another example of the wrap-up smear of enough of them from points of power, politicians, TV analysts, celebrities. If they keep on repeating the same nonsense, eventually people will start to believe it. It's called the wrap-up smear. And here you have Nancy Pelosi actually telling you what the wrap-up smear is. And it's like, here it is in action. They've talked about it, and it's real.
Down hospitals and the rest of it. So they don't want them to see that contrast, so they focus on something else. And it's a diversionary tactic. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. You demonize, and then we call it the wrap-up smear. If you want
it's what they've been doing to Trump forever.
Politics, you call it the wrap-up smear. You smear somebody with falsehoods and all the rest, and then you merchandise it. And then you write it, and they'll say, see, it's reported in the press that this, and this. So they have that validation that the press reported the smear, and then it's called the wrap-up smear. Now I'm going to merchandise the press's report on the smear that we made. And it's a tactic, and it's self-evident. But I think I'm worth the trouble putting down hospitals.
Essentially bragging about, hey, we do this thing. It's terrible, and we get away with it every single time. And it's sad, but it's in your face and you see it all the time. Oh, he tried to have that last one ended. No, he didn't. But the sad part is if Trump won 2020, which maybe you believe it, maybe you don't. Maybe you buy onto the narrative of when every single swing state they needed, they stopped counting. They put poster boards on the windows. They said a pipe burst when it was really a flooded toilet. They stopped counting everywhere. In almost every single state, they needed that just crazy bump. They keep all these articles have it. Oh, this was not it. This was not this is fake news. But every single place they needed it, they got that bump and they were able to win. They did it again over in the runoff election over in Georgia when they absolutely needed those two Senate seats to get the Senate. So Kamala Harris would be the tie-breaking vote. If you believe this, I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying they won in every single state they needed to win. And later on, they admitted, hey, look, over in Georgia, we may have counted ballots that we shouldn't have. They didn't have the signature. At least we don't dispute that we weren't supposed to do it, but they said they did it. Maybe this is erroneous. Who knows? But just the idea is it wasn't that Trump didn't want Pence. Trump ran with Pence in 2020. Trump ran with JD Vance because he lost with Pence. Like, he needed a new team. He needed to retool everything. JD Vance was just another MAGA conservative. It wasn't Trump that didn't get JD Vance. It was the Democrats and But I would say necessarily this might not have been the fraud, but the fraud was they rigged it. Where would they say they fortified the election? They banned things on social media. They said all these things about Biden's laptop. They weren't real, despite the fact that they knew it was real. They did do some nefarious things. So it wasn't Donald Trump, or it wasn't Donald Trump saying he didn't want to advance. It was the Democrats doing it. And I'm telling you right now, in 2024, if you had a Donald Trump, Donald Trump, Mike Pence was not going to win an election against, probably wasn't going to be Kamala Harris. So it was probably going to be Josh Shapiro, I'm guessing. Mike Pence wasn't winning an American election. They did this to themselves, and it's sad. And the one thing I want to leave this with is just, as a Ben Carson, great guy, pretty much sums up exactly what needs to be said over at Turning Point USA, how this is an attack on America. This is not just social media banter and bots or trying to push these narratives. Like, no, this is an attack on America.
What would you do if you wanted to bring down America? You couldn't do it militarily.
Couldn't fight us. We have too much ocean.
I think you might think about our education system.
Yes.
Could we possibly infiltrate the teacher unions and the public schools so that we can indoctrinate the children?
Yes.
Could we gain control of the media, of Hollywood, so that we could change the culture of the people? Should we do everything we can to destroy the American family? What would you do?
It kind of sounds like everything that they would be doing if they were trying to destroy America. They've already done it. The same thing I was saying about the Mexican president Lula. What's her name? Silva? I forget. The Mexican president. How she's like, how dare they start to sink those narco boats? I'm like, this doesn't prove that she's a narco presidente, but everything a narco presidente would do, she's doing right now. And it's like, yeah, this doesn't prove the left is trying to destroy America, but everything they would be doing if they were trying to destroy America is already being done. And it's sad that I'll say, who's Lula? Claudia Sheinbaum was saying it. Yes, Lula is what country? I forget now. But yeah, aside from that, thank you, Chad. Is it really seems like they're trying to destroy the country, and you have Turning Point USA with Nicki Minaj. Sad to say this out loud, but it's like, is Nicki Minaj genuinely saving the country? She's part of it. I honestly believe that she's part of it, just the same way that I think when I did that video on Charlie Kirk a long time ago, when I said, hey, I think in the comments I said, hey, I genuinely think Charlie Kirk is saving the country because he's speaking to young people in a way they can understand and actually bucking back from the mainstream narrative. Like where they say, hey, you're a racist if you think illegal immigration is bad. It's like, okay, I'm not only going to not be afraid to say illegal immigration is bad, I'm going to give you an itemized description as to why it's bad and not racist. And it's like, for him to be able to communicate that to the kids and for them to get passionate about it, where you have, liberal arts colleges and liberal parts of the liberal cities in America showing out in droves, wearing MAGA hats in public, risking, social exile. It's important. And I think the same way that Kyrie Irving did it and also Nicki Minaj is doing it now, it's very important. Because remember, Kyrie Irving was not allowed to play basketball games over the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. You had outside the Barclays Center guys in MAGA hats. You had guys that were like prototypical BLM type guys. And you also had Kyrie's he's a very specific type of that religion. I keep on forgetting how to call it. But you had people from his group. You had all these people just coming together for medical freedom. And it's like, yeah, these are important figures in America. A basketball player and a rapper shouldn't be seen as like free rights or freedom of speech advocates, but it's definitely like that right now. Yeah, getting canceled by the left is a badge of honor. I don't want Reddit to cheer me on because I've seen them cheer on Abrego Garcia. I've seen them cheer on we were just talking about the guy over in that got shot in the back, and Kamala Harris said, "I'm proud of you." I forget his name now, but it's like, I've seen what the left cheers on. I don't want to be a part of that group. Yeah. Rats and snakes make up stuff as they go. It's always been like that. It's pretty disgusting. Yeah, Luigi. They cheer on Luigi. And that's the scary part about it is you might think it's just an offshoot of like of Twilight ladies that used to think, oh my god, I like Team Edward or Team Jacob, but now I'm into simping over Luigi. It's like, it's not benign like that and silly. It's making more people commit assassinations because they want to be the anti-hero. They want to be commemorated and have counterculture that worships them. Like, they'll commit horrendous acts ending someone they don't agree with because they think they're going to become Luigified, where they'll have women showing up to their court date fawning over him. They'll post courtroom pictures of him on Reddit, all simping over him. It's like, yeah, it's not harmless because you think you're just saying something funny about a guy that has a nice jawline, but what you're actually doing is convincing the next would-be assassin to actually do that, and it's terrifying. Yeah. Abrego is a terrible person, and yet they're all shouting, we love you, we love you. Hold on, let me go grab, I'm running out of soda. I'm gonna grab a water real quick. We'll get to the last topic, though. We're back now. Here we go. I didn't even run an ad. Whatever. It's okay. Thanks for hanging out as long as you did. It is what it is. I need more Dr. Pepper to compete, man. I need more Dr. Pepper. I have that entire bottle of soda, so I feel like that's enough. I'm like a soda addict, so I have too much of it as it is. Yeah, using LASIK surgery to change the color of your eyes is wild. Like, when I lived in LA, I was in a part of the city where so many people had, like, plastic surgery on their face. It was actually becoming common for the girls in my office to get, what is it called? What's that injection where they paralyzes parts of their face? Botox, thank you, Action. It was common for like 20-year-old girls to get Botox and lip filler. It was kind of scary. Like, I remember for my birthday, the first time my parents came to visit me in that part of LA, we went to like a fancy brunch place, and my parents were just bewildered at the idea of all the women there with so much like paralyzed faces from the Botox. And it's like, yeah, it's kind of wild how many 20-year-old girls will get Botox and lip filler. And it's like, you guys all look like aliens. So me, I'm big on not getting any work done and just kind of aging gracefully. Like, my eyeball, it's like my eye color is just like basic brown. It just is what it is. But I could never imagine like going out of my way to get like to dye my hair. Like, I have some white hair here. My facial hair is very red, so it looks more patchy than it needs to be. Or anything, like just any work done. Like, I feel like it's you very quickly become a ghoul. They both make you look older. Yeah, that's the thing. Is like, I know girls that think, oh, I'm gonna look younger because I'm gonna get this done here, I'm gonna get that done here. I'm like, no, it just makes you look like you're compensating because yes, on your Instagram picture you can look phenomenal because you have everything chiseled and everything's good. But when you speak, you don't look like a human being anymore. And it's like, I just want to age gracefully. I'm looking older than I ever have. People in chat are calling me Unk. It is what it is, man. You can't stop it. Yeah. I don't like to. I'll cover super chats at the end, but I don't like Topo Chico, man. It's I need the flavoring of soda, man. I am an addict. When I used to work at a burger shop and I worked at a Chinese restaurant from like when I was in college. That's why I never have any I never have any pity for like people. Oh, I work so hard. It's like, no, dude. I went to school full time, had a full load in college. Then I worked the closing shift at the Chinese food restaurant. Then I worked the overnight janitor shift at the burger shop. My Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So it's like Monday through Thursday, full load school. Friday through Sunday, working 2 jobs. It was fucking miserable. But the thing is, though, is from the moment I got at the Chinese restaurant, I filled up a soda, like a Dr. Pepper or a Cherry Coke. I'd be drinking soda through all that night. I'd get to my next job, and the entire time, I was like, the first thing I did was clean the soda machine so I can just have sodas nonstop. It's probably because I just using so much energy and like, needed the sugar. It's like your body's craving it. And it's also super late at night, so your body wants easy energy. But man, I was like, I love soda. I'll drink it all the time. I will get super fat on it, so I need to taper off. I have no idea how Asmongold stays so trim and thin, drinking as much Dr. Pepper as he did. Because honestly, I feel like my face would be fat quickly. Yeah, mineral water is good for you, but yeah. Here's the thing: is what do they say? Like, at least I have more hair. People always like want to talk trash to Tim Pool for not having hair, but I'm like, if I could have his success, but have his baldness as well, I think I'd choose the baldness and success over what I have, Because here's the thing: is hair plugs now, like it's not a big deal. Like I'm saying I'll never get hair plugs, but honestly, like I can see you can see right there with there's harsh light up there, obviously, but yeah, we're it's happening, guys. It might be rest in peace for my hairline. Maybe I'll end up, if all of a sudden you see me get a buzz cut, I probably went to Turkey. Gamer headline. Oh, it's because the headphones sit there. Yeah. So it's my gut biome. I've heard about that. Like if you're studying late at night and you're really tired, your body wants easy energy. That's why you crave junk food. And I feel like I believe it. I have had my hair long. I used to have a man bun. It was a whole thing. Time for the Keeps sponsor? No, I do not disavow Keeps. Remember when every single college campus had anti-Semitic protesters out there blocking Jewish kids from getting to colleges? Some kid, he's just a kid that happens to be a race or ethnicity or a religion, just trying to go to school at UCLA, and all these crackpot, insane liberal activists wearing kiffiyehs or however you pronounce it, stopping them. Oh, you're from this religion, you can't go to class. Sheer insanity all up and down the state, and every UC and Cal State College in Southern California. The Keeps CEO came out and said, I can't wait to employ those activists, or something to that effect. And I was like, yeah, fuck them. I at some point in time, I would probably want, what do you call it, Minoxidil or finasteride or whatever those hair loss things are. At some point in time, I probably would want to use it, but I would never run an ad for Keeps, just because I'll remember that forever. Venison, who's talking about meat right now? Okay, yeah, you didn't know that happened. It was a big thing. It was a big thing. I don't know how to pronounce Minoxidil or whatever. But yeah, so let's go ahead and get to what's happening over in California, because obviously it looks like the third world. They have no grasp of what's happening in the state. But the more insane part about it is, starting January 1st, California is going to implement all these new laws, and it's so insane that this is what they want. Because I'll be honest, some of these new laws that are happening in California, it's a Newsom W. I'm not so Trump deranged syndrome type where I'll say, Newsom, I hate the guy, he's a scumbag. But when he does things like outlawing cat declawing, I think that's a good thing. Good job, Newsom. That's a good law to implement. Cat declawing, it's messed up. Let the cats have claws. Like my cat's favorite thing to do in life is to walk in this office sometimes and to claw the shit on my carpet. And I'm like, dude, I rent. You're destroying my deposit, but it makes them happy. I think they say when they're making biscuits, they're happy. So yeah, don't declaw cats. But then he does something like this, where he says, tortilla law. California requires folic acid in most corn tortillas starting 2026, which basically says, hey, it needs 0.7 milligrams of folic acid per pound, but also if small businesses are exempt. So some guy on a truck making at a food truck, he doesn't need to have folic acid in it. But any folic acid in a supermarket has something. All right, so any tortilla in a supermarket has to have a food product that 30 to 50% of Californians can't process it. I have that MTFR gene where it was Gary Brecka broke it down and said, hey, look, if you have this gene, you can test for it, this mutation. That's why you get anxiety. That's why you have crazy energy. That's why you couldn't focus in class, because you had a cereal in the morning plastered with folic acid. You went to lunch and had chips. You had a little mini cheeseburger at your California state cafeteria. Everything had folic acid top to bottom. Your body cannot process it, and it's making your mind race. Like, I think the analogy he had is like, you just keep on opening windows and you don't close them. It was just making me nuts. That's why I wasn't good. I was a terrible student. Me now being able to take supplements to counteract the MTFR gene and avoiding folic acid has made my life insanely better in my 30s. But the idea that now everything in California needs to have folic acid because they say it helps us fight spina bifida and Anessa, I don't know. Words I can't pronounce, but I'm sure they're terrible diseases. But the idea is, it kind of sounds a lot like putting fluoride in our water, because it can have some health benefit. They're now requiring everything in the country to have it. Why are you concerned with this when your streets look like this? Or you still have people living in their vehicles after the Pacific Palisades fire, the Eden fire, and all the fires to come up soon. You're worried about tortillas. Cat declawing, you don't need to worry about this. It's a good thing, but also they're saying landlords must provide stoves and fridges. Okay. Gender-neutral bathrooms in schools, I think that needs to be fought. Plastic grocery bags be fully banned. I'm so glad we solved global warming. We stopped China from doing everything, but you know what? The bags is what the problem was. Not China dumping fishing nets in the ocean. Not India burning. What do they burn? Is it lumber? Is it coal? All the CO2 emissions you have in the third world. I'm glad we banned grocery bags. It's nuts. And then also food delivery. Okay, whatever. Streaming ads can't be like, why do we care about this? We have all these new laws. Police and ice mask ban, except he reserved the right for his select agencies to still have a mask. Things he can't do, he's implementing. And now we have a fucking tortilla law in California. But the craziest part about this is gas prices in California are about to get nuts. They're about to get nuts.
It was in the Wall Street Journal when Mike Wirth, the CEO of Chevron, was getting ready to move Chevron out of California, texted him and said, "We're about to make this announcement. I'd like to tell you before you read about it." Gavin Newsom replied, essentially, quote, "I don't need to talk about it. I'm good."
Did you hear that? I'm good.
Because he wants Californians to be reliant on electric vehicles. That's I was so ahead of the curve. I have the Green New Deals, and I'm so forward on having Americans or Californians rely on public transit, not having private ownership of their vehicles, and only the wealthy can afford gasoline. Like, this is part of the plan.
45 years, $300 billion company, tens of thousands of jobs, and the governor says, I'm good. Now, gas is at $7 in parts of LA, $6.79 right here, and it's about to hit about $10. So I started digging into what the hell is going on. And what I found out made me sick. 3 refineries are gone. Let me show you what just happened.
And the one refinery blew up. And I think because of the insane permits they need to rebuild, they're just going to leave. Like, why would they bother trying to jump through California's hoops? They obviously don't want them here. It's about to get scary.
Refineries in California are winding down their operation. Phillips 66 in Los Angeles County is set to shut down completely in a few weeks, and Valero in the Bay Area will stop operations in April.
They're done forever.
20%. That's not a small adjustment. That's a massacre.
Yes.
And it gets worse. Valero was offered $200 million to stay. Listen to what they said.
Valero in Northern California flat out said, we're out of the state. And they were very upfront about it. They said, we're tired of operating this hostile environment. We're tired of operating under
why would they want to stay
rules.
here?
And By the way, our operating costs across...
Because the thing is, he's just trying to get them to leave without making legislation or doing like the ultimate communist and saying, we're taking over your business, or we're shutting you down arbitrarily. They're just making it so uncomfortable and unprofitable for them as possible that they are willing to destroy their own economy to feign concern about the environment.
California refineries are on average 35 to 38% higher than anywhere else in the country.
Did you catch that? Hostile environment, punitive rules. $1 billion company would rather lose $1 billion than deal with Sacramento for one more year.
And it's insane because this is happening everywhere. Like, what is it? This other crazy thing where you saw this in, what was the UK or Australia, saying we need you to document your gardens. Newsom's trying to do it here.
So believe it or not, Gavin Newsom could actually be responsible for stripping away 2 million home gardens in the state of California and make you financially responsible for paying for it. This policy he is spearheading, also called Zone Zero, would require that all these good standing trees and vegetation within a 5-foot radius of your house be removed, and that would include garden plants like fruits and vegetables.
I honestly think it's just making it so impossible for you to self-sustain that if you're going to try to live off the grid, you're going to leave California, but just you are completely, entirely reliant upon the government in California to feed and shelter yourself. That should another COVID happen where we want you to get this vaccine card, so we're going to make sure that you're a customer of this pharmaceutical company, you get this jab, you take this, you get this card so you can go buy yourself food. You can't say, you know what, I'm self-reliant, I have gasoline stocked away, I have my own garden to feed myself, I'm not going to need to comply with your rules because I live outside, I have my own liberty, my personal freedoms. They're trying to strip that away from you.
This policy will impact roughly 2 million homes within the state of California, and for somebody living in a part of this state like Los Angeles could cost you up to $13,000 to come into compliance. And they're so generous about this, they're going to give you 3 years to comply before they send some sort of inspector to your house.
And that's the thing I remember Ben Shapiro used to say this way back in the day, saying they're going to send men with guns to strip away your freedoms. Because here's the thing, it's like, yeah, they might send an inspector first, and then they'll send you a bill, and then they will threaten to take your home, they'll threaten to garnish your wages, but eventually, to enforce it, they're going to have to use violence to enforce it. Kind of scary stuff to think about. They're saying, hey, in 3 years, take down your garden so you can't feed yourself anymore, or else we're sending men with weapons to stop you physically. Scary times.
And the neat thing is, if the inspector sees stuff that they don't like, they can just pull it out themselves. They can.
And it's like you're a renter. This is like your landlord coming through and saying this breaks the rules of your lease agreement, even though you own your home.
They can mess with your garden. They can mess with your plants. They can mess with your vegetation. To commit this tyranny, they're just going to say you need to have your space be ember resistant because you're in a very high fire hazard severity zone.
So we're not going to fill up the water reservoirs to fight the fire. We're not going to have enough civilian firefighting employees to maintain the engines of the fire trucks to stop the fire. What we're going to do, we're not going to clean up the brush in the national parks. We're not going to move away brush from power lines, and we're not going to hold the energy companies responsible. What we are going to do is fine you and threaten you with violence if you don't move stuff away from your home because you're in a ember resistant defensible zone. Sheer insanity.
But the opponents to this rule are saying that it would be better not to remove urban tree canopy because they provide the necessary shade to prevent some fires. Oh, why didn't we think about some of this stuff before? Aren't we genius policymakers in Sacramento?
Because it's not about actually making policies that work. It's about taking your land. It's about making it so uncomfortable for you to be self-sustaining that you just submit.
Sacramento, did we actually think that the Eaton and Palisades fires cared about shrub or urban vegetation? I mean, come on. We didn't even have water to fight those fires.
And it's crazy how they straight up say, we did such a good job. Oh, we're going to cut all the red tape. Those people are still homeless. Karen Bass actually on a hot mic, I believe, said, yeah, there was mistakes on both sides. Like they know they messed it up. And yet when it was happening, they keep on trying to say we're doing such a good job. What was Newsom? He was dancing around saying, we got to talk about land buybacks. We got to talk about land use programs, getting ready for the Olympics coming up. It was just like, it was all this big opportunity for him to seize more power. And yet now they're saying, well, it's to prevent the next land grab, essentially, they're going to punish the citizens and take away liberties.
I think that was a much bigger problem if we're talking issues here. And if you needed to know that Gavin Newsom was responsible for sure, here's the receipt. I mean, they passed 2 bills in the legislature to create a footprint for implementing something like this. Not only that, but because...
Yeah, Newsom destroying the state piece by piece. It's been like this for a while. He's running for president. You already know it is, but I mean, I think his campaign's over before it started. Like I had other slides, but we're kind of done for the day. But it's like, yeah, ever since he walked around Skid Row talking about fighting homelessness.
So, but now you need to see afterwards. You see how dirty these streets is?
And he's getting heckled the entire time. He doesn't care. But then part of this 3-minute video is him walking by this homeless guy on the street, literally reaching out to him, and he could care less in his suit. This is gonna haunt him forever. I think, what is it? That's from Kevin Dalton, but it's is it I Am Meme, or I forgot what account straight up said, I have more things to bring up when Newsom runs for president, things he's not gonna want to see resurface. And I'm like, yeah, I think Newsom, like a lot of people running for public office, they're just doing it as a way to raise funds. They actually don't believe they can win. Or maybe he's like Kamala Harris, where they think, oh, I ran a great campaign, I lost because the better candidate didn't win, or some other delusional nonsense. Unless he's just entirely living in a bubble, he knows he can't win. This is just for pure vanity. Especially if he's going to run up against J.D. Vance, who's a very strong candidate. Yeah, Gavin is Nancy Pelosi's nephew-in-law, but it's like there's been 4 families, like the Brown family. I forgot what the other family was, but there's like 4 families that have essentially run California, and yet they keep on. It's been nothing but a failure. So, let's see. Let's go ahead and get to super chats right now. Alright, so from YouTube, Frankie Dylan Knox says, I've been playing Elden Ring lately. By the way, Merry Christmas, brother. Merry Christmas to you and your family. X says, anybody remember polyphonic ringtones, like on your Nokia phone where it's just like a MIDI thing? I do remember that. Super chat from MM Train. Appreciate that. I feel like the Train stuff is over on Twitch. We'll read into that too. Did you see the news about Nicki Minaj? She's going down as her own Kanye West path. No. Kanye West and Nicki Minaj's path are very different. I don't think she's going to get that extreme as Kanye West is. But yeah, we talked about Nicki Minaj. Will You Teach Me says, they thought everyone was dying, but they paid me double because I was essential. I have a story that I can tell. It's a very damning of the healthcare system, but I can't tell it quite yet. I will tell it soon, though. Abel Vasquez says, big fan, love your videos. Appreciate that. Light Didi says, Australian authorities are making up a ghost people to hunt down while the real monsters are taking their lives. Yeah, oh, it's neo-Nazis. They're out there to get us. It's like, they're talking about the very real incident they had. Stop playing boogeyman stuff. This is not the time to virtue signal. Deadpool Kid says, for those cheering Kilmar Abrego Garcia, MS-13, Luigi, the loss of Charlie Kirk, are not our neighbors, fellow citizens, or even sane thinking there's no comparisons or understanding with them. Just remember that when they cheered on the death of Charlie Kirk, it was a giant red pill moment for a lot of Democrat by default types. People saying, I've loved the Democrats forever, but now that they're cheering on the assassination of a guy that was just talking to college kids, they don't want to be affiliated with that anymore. Very red pill for them. Yeah. Smarty Pants says, welcome back to America. Appreciate that. Os Greg says, love your channel. Thank you. McKilly says, switch to Topo Chicos. I have Topo Chicos in the fridge. I'm just not a fan of them. Can you shout out Sumo Dog? Okay, cool. Thank you. And then Bite says, I thought Pennsylvania banning hedgehogs was absurd. They ban hedgehogs. The weird thing is in California, I know I'm not allowed to have a ferret. And I don't want a ferret necessarily, but the weird thing is it ferrets? I think it's ferrets. You can't legally own a ferret in California. But if you took your ferret to the vet, they're not gonna like throw you in jail. Like you can go to any Petco in California and buy ferret food. It's kind of weird. And like I think it's like people would go to Vegas to buy one. And back in the day, when you're going to Vegas and you're coming back, there used to be a like this checkpoint that would they would say, hey, do you have any like vegetables to claim or something like that? That's like gone now. Let's see. Where's my? I always forget how to see what people have gotten me on Twitch. Trying to get like the super chats and stuff. So not followers. Large enemy spider cheering. Oh yeah, what's with the bat? The bat is just this pencil bat from Victus. Like I said, it's in stock right now. Victus, but I'm sure it's gonna sell out very quickly. Thank you, Null Dan, for the Prime sub. Ina Chu with the bits. Large enemy spider for the subscription. Thank you. Charlie Trash with the Prime sub. Large enemy spider saying Asians have an immortality buff that expires at 60. It will thunder upon you and you will look like Raiden, probably. Commerce Shadow 5 stream streak. Okay, appreciate that. Large enemy spider with the gifted subs. Killing Us Softly, Leonard Drum, Carol Plays, N.O. Seeger, and Wibbly OG with a gift from a Prime. Thank you. Along with Power Ranger X. Jams and Oh Mr. Biscuits with the bits. Thunder 65 with the Prime sub. Biscuits with more bits. Thank you. I don't know what bits are, essentially. It's like, he gave me 300 bits, but I don't know what 300 bits translates to. Thank you. Mailer, Dirty Downstairs. Arrow. Oh, no. Dirty Downstairs, Mirror for the Prime sub, but Arrow give me 5 community subs. Thank you. And also Biscuits with Prime and Shiggy with the Prime sub. So I really appreciate that. Thanks for all the support. Noel Dan with this Prime sub as well. So I appreciate all that support. And I think there's some stuff over on Kick. I don't know. And again, if you guys don't give audio, if you guys don't give, that's perfectly fine. If feel no responsibility to contribute to the channel. So Jones gave me a hell yeah. I think that's all I had over on Kick. And then just one more thing. I think Rumble probably had some stuff too. Where's the my account? I don't know how this software works. Oh, thank you, Unsound Fox, saying for the Canadian super chat. Thank you. Live streaming. Where's the? Honestly, I have no idea how to check these things. Yeah, so if you're on Kick, I don't know how to. Yeah, I don't know how to find all your super chats. This is live chat, and then yeah, I don't know how to work. So yeah, so if you left something over there, I can't figure it out. But yeah, we've been going for a very long time. Yeah, thanks. 7 hours, and you watch my videos on Asmon Goldstream. I feel like a lot of you guys on Twitch, especially, will be coming over from Asmon Goldstream, so I appreciate that. 99 cents Canadians, like 50 cents American, probably, but I mean, still appreciate any contributions. Pretty awesome. Appreciate that. You've been trying to drop subs all night, but the feeling screwed up. Even if you don't, just appreciate you being here and hanging out, watching is like, you know, the best way you can support the channel. That's cool. Ferrets are nasty. I mean, all animals are pretty nasty. Like, I understand. I love my cat. He's an old man now. I've been with him for like 15 years now. But make no mistake. I understand. He goes in a sandbox, poops, has bits of it in his paws, then comes into my bed, lays on my lap with bits of his paw inside. It's in my mattress. Like, is it sanitary? No. But he's part of the family. You know, you just kind of let him do his thing. Yeah. Yeah, 15 years. He's an old cat. Like, I'm not teaching him any new tricks. I can't put him on here. I don't have a shock collar, so there's no way I'm going to be able to keep him on frame. So it is what it is. So I appreciate you guys hanging out as long as you did. This is like a 3-hour, 16-minute live stream. I'm pretty hungry, so I'm going to go ahead and, no overthrow. You clean your kitty's toes out all the time. I try to. I'm not trying to get my eyeball scratched by my cat. He's not the most aggressive cat, but he doesn't like being flipped around. Like, I'll try to hold him like a baby. You've seen me hold him. He just hates it, so yeah. All sad stuff. So yeah, thanks for hanging out. Oh, thank you for the bits, Nick MKS. But thanks for hanging out as long as you have. But I will see you guys next time. But for now, duck off.